Beasley Media Group station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
NBA free agency is officially open. The Celtics are going to look different next year as Luke Cornett is off to San Antonio. 4 years, $41 million. Celtics have signed big man Luka Garza, 2 years and $5.5 million. No official word yet on Al Horford. The Golden State Warriors are reportedly a potential destination. That's after Kevon Looney went to New Orleans for $16 million over 2 years. Memphis signed Jaren Jackson Jr. to a 5-year max deal, $240 million. Nuggets trading Michael Porter Jr. and an unprotected 2032 first-round pick to the Nets for forward Cam Johnson. NHL free agency opens at noon today. Brad Marchand is not going anywhere. He's staying in Florida. 6 years, $5.25 million per year. He's got a no-trade clause as part of that contract. Meanwhile, Vegas executed a sign and trade with Toronto. The Golden Knights get Mitch Marner, and they signed him to an 8-year, $96 million contract. Red Sox beat the Reds 13-6 last night at Fenway Park. A 7-run first inning for the Sox. Wilyer Abreu hit a grand slam and then an inside-the-park home run. Well, the other way around, but he did both. Last night, Garrett Crochet's first win at Fenway Park. Headlines are brought to you by Catches Law. At Catches, they specialize in helping those who have been injured not only from a one-time incident, but from a lifetime of hard work and labor. Does this sound like you? Visit CatchesLaw.com. I'm Matt McCarthy on Boston's Home for Sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update in 30 minutes.
If you've got the app, you've got Toucher and Hardy to wake you up no matter where you are.
Or who may or may not have been to jail.
Get the app. The 98.5 The Sports Hub app.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
When has that been necessary to fact check?
and Hardy
I am not known as Mr. Fun.
on 98.5.
Hey there.
Sarge GPT booting up.
Let me hear you say, boo, boo, boo.
Crush me, mommy.
Say my name.
I'm a robot.
I'm the son of the Pope.
I'm a goddamn dragon!
Yeah, good luck, dude.
Nothing like a good tushy.
I love you, and I think you know that.
Excuse me?
Toucher and Hardy
Watch Daddy and Uncle Freddie.
Knocking back some fun and having some fun.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Losses to the neck, but now I'm trophied up. I'm saying like
Bing, bop, boom, 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 bop, bang.
the type I'm on you wouldn't understand.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I don't know how this show, anybody else can start it without doing that.
I mean, you can. You're Joe Murray.
Well, Fred, though.
I know, but you are Joe Murray.
Good morning, everybody. I don't know if I could start today without hearing good morning, everybody. Good morning.
How about spending the next 20 minutes talking about your life?
Oh,
Gonna do that?
You know what we did on Sunday? And again, this is the Toucher and Hardy program. 98.5 The Sports Hub. It's holiday week. Matt McCarthy's here. I'm Joe Murray. And Adam 12, one of the only other fixtures of the morning shows here in studio. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Matt.
Hi, 12. How you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
Excellent.
Had
Excellent.
fun yesterday. Looking forward to having fun again today because that's the other thing the show is all about is having fun.
Well, you seem energized. I think we all have good spirits.
Yes.
The atmosphere and vibe is very high, I would say.
Yeah, because you got some rest yesterday, you were saying. How did you spend your day? Because this is a much different routine. It's the other side of the clock for you. You're on at night. Now you're doing mornings.
I messed up.
Oh, what?
I'm out of it. I will say this. I did a This Is Our Life 98.5 edition on Sunday with Tyler Milliken. And I went down rabbit holes about... Adam, you probably have some really interesting stories about the radio business. I worked at like many defunct AM radio stations.
And I've worked at many defunct FM radio stations. So between the two of us, we probably got, a dozen stations we put in the ground. So,
That could be funny.
We might have to do that later on. I'm going to make a note of that. Let's
what's funny
the
is
laundry list of stations that we've put to bed.
When I interviewed for 98.5 The Sports Hub, I mentioned the places that I worked before. They were all went under, and the program director said, "Do you think you have something to do with it?" And I looked at him dead in the eye, and I go, "Do you really think I had something to do with it?"
That's a hell of a question to ask in an interview, right?
Yes.
Let's see how this guy's going to respond to that.
Well, my response was, "Do you really think I had something to do with that? I actually I brought money in." Sometimes that's job security in this business.
Indeed.
Anyways, I left here yesterday. I had a conversation with one Andy Wong. We talk every day. Me and him are like we're homeboys. Of
course you do. It's the Wong father.
But not about life. We're lifers, man. We don't talk about anything else. But I got home, 11:15. I think I was zonked at 11:30, man. I was out cold till about 2.
Wow.
I had 7 text messages. People like talking. I'm like, I was knocked out.
That's the John
yesterday.
Wallach routine, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's what John does, is he leaves the show and goes home and naps for like 2 to 3 hours in the middle of the day.
Joe, not a pro move right there. You gotta wait.
I agree.
You gotta wait until a little later in the week to go to the afternoon nap.
Oh, I didn't. It wasn't a plan. This wasn't.
No, I know it wasn't,
This wasn't orchestrated.
Nature took its course, is what you're saying?
Yeah. But I also, as you, Matt, I work 6 days. So on Sunday, I worked at 10 in the morning. So I get up at 7:30. I prep, and then I went to a barbecue. So I had a full day on Sunday, and then the whole turnaround. Where me? I worked multiple jobs and work on the radio.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this: 3 o'clock, I was like, it's still really nice outside. I got the whole night in front of me. I went to Green Harbor Beach last night.
That's the problem, though. You think you have the whole night ahead of you. Again, 12. As somebody who does mornings, how many mistakes did Joe Murray make yesterday?
About 3.
Yeah.
No, but I'll say this: pro move going to the beach. That's what I did yesterday as well. I just did mine earlier in the day.
Oh, you went to the beach after the show?
I did. Yes, I got home. We had a quick post-show meeting yesterday to get things ready for today, and then I went home. And it was one of those magical days where I had the whole day ahead of me, nothing on the calendar. Both of my kids were off; they didn't have work yesterday, so I got home at 10:30. I said, "You guys want to go to Wells Beach?" And they were like,
"Ooh, Wells,
yeah,
huh?
Let's go to Wells Beach." So we literally, in the next 20 minutes later, we had our bags with our bathing suits and towels and anything we needed, and up we went. We were there just in time for lunch. Grabbed a little bit of lunch. What did we get? Oh, a little pizza place there in Wells Beach. Mm-hmm. We went down. My oldest took a walk on the beach. My youngest and I got in the water and did some. They ride the bodyboard. I do the body surfing because I've got the dad bod, which is the built-in bodyboard, boogie board, whatever you want to call it. And we had a nice day at the beach. So while you were napping, I was at the beach, and then I got home. And while I was at home resting, you were at the beach.
Oh yeah,
so we just
I had a fantastic day. I will tell you, North Shore beaches, I generally have to have a permit or some sort of parking pass or whatever. Yeah. Went right in there at about 5:15.
Yeah,
nobody was there, so I didn't have to pay.
That's the move.
I parked right at the opening where the ramp is. It was packed at 5:15.
Yeah. The flies.
You know what's funny? So generally Gloucester doesn't get it that bad, but oh man, Plum Island. Give me the shark over the greenhead.
No doubt.
All day long.
You got a better shot with that and not getting bit.
Absolutely. Yeah. The green actually. This guy gave me this lotion that you put on, but it's disgusting. It smells. But there is like this lotion you can wear to avoid the greenheads. But at that point, I don't want to wear the lotion.
Right.
So I'm out. Yeah, you can't go to Plum Island or probably Cranes, any of those places, because you'll get eaten alive. And those greenheads, they're killer flies. All they want to do is suck your blood. And they leave bumps, and it's awful. So out on the greenhead. Matt, what did you do yesterday?
I made a hell of a decision yesterday. So first, my dad's recovering from knee surgery, had his knee replaced. Went down there, visited him. He's
Shout out
great.
Mr. Mack.
He is a Hyde Park legend, just like Joe Murray. He's moving around great. Spent a few hours with him. Our very own Alex Barth is learning how to play guitar.
Oh, get out.
He is. You'll appreciate this.
Okay.
He bought a $25 guitar on Amazon.
I love this.
It's an acoustic guitar.
Okay.
Apparently, his neighbor has been yelling at him to stop playing at all hours of the night because he hasn't totally figured out yet that acoustic guitars make more noise
They do.
than electric
They
guitars.
absolutely do.
Unless, of course, you have an electric guitar plugged in. So he said, "Listen, I'm playing enough. I got to upgrade from this $25 Amazon guitar."
Yeah.
So I said, "Hey, I'll meet you at Guitar Center. I'll help you out."
Wait, did you? So you?
Alex
went to
Barth and I
Guitar
walked
Center?
in there, like we own the place, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
you want to talk about a real wrecking crew showing up at Guitar Center. So, I'm, showing him, okay,
So you play as well?
I do.
Okay.
I dabble.
Yeah.
More of a bassist, but I
Okay.
did pick up guitar a few years
He's
ago.
been known to have a jam session.
Oh,
I do.
boy.
You should come over.
Okay.
McCarthy
All right.
Manor. Got the whole setup in the basement.
All right.
Drums, keys, you name it.
You're not playing any fish, are you? Any of that,
I'm definitely not
nonsense?
playing
No,
any
all
fish.
right.
No, you don't have to
Grateful
worry
Dead, all
about
right.
that. Definitely
Okay.
not
As long as
allowed.
it's not that kind of jam session.
No.
But continue. I'm interested in this story.
So Barth is figuring out. I said, "Hey, you got this one's really nice. It's a nice, starter guitar. It's got nice feel to it. It's got a good sound for $200 type of thing. Why don't you try this one out?" He's like, "Hey, I really like this." So I'm watching him play, and then out of the corner of my eye, it found me.
Uh-oh.
A Fender Telecaster,
Ooh,
butterscotch blonde,
that's a nice guitar.
used.
Yeah?
I'd tried one maybe 6 months ago.
Okay.
When I bought a Gretsch at Christmas.
Gretsch is a nice guitar as well.
Very nice guitar, very kind of clean sound,
Yes.
kind of lower end.
A little old school, the Gretsch.
Way old school. I've got the Bigsby on it. That thing. Oh, I like it.
Okay.
I saw this thing and I said, I'm just going to try it. Why the hell not? I picked it up,
You knew it.
played Johnny Be Good, walked right up to the counter.
That was it.
That was it.
That was
That's all
love
I
at
needed.
first sight. It played a little riff, and then you now the owner of the blonde. You said
Butterscotch
blonde
Fender Telecaster. You know what?
Wow.
I didn't pick it. It picked me. It called to me from the corner of the room. You could tell it had been broken in just enough. It's in excellent condition. I tried a new one 6 months ago. It didn't fit. It didn't work right. This one, 12. Oh my God.
Careful.
No.
I gotta find my list.
Hey,
There we go.
No
no
stairway.
stairway. Denied.
Denied.
That's what I was thinking in my head. I had to send that to Ryan.
I'm looking at some of my favorite guitar. Of course, I have on my notes app a list of my favorite guitar players. And D. Boone, who played for the Minutemen, the classic 80s punk band, he was a Fender Telecaster guy. Stuart Braithwaite, who plays in one of my favorite bands, Mogwai, instrumental band from Scotland. He's a Fender Telecaster guy as well. So you're in good company.
It's a beautiful instrument.
That's great.
All I needed to know. I texted Jim Murray right away, and the only thing he said is, I will never, ever get over selling my version of that guitar. He had one years ago. He
Sure.
said, you just made a damn good choice.
So let's get back to Barth.
Yes, please.
So
Did he walk out with
is
it?
he,
did.
is
Six
he
strings.
tabs.com guy? What is he strumming? Is he plucking?
Starting to strum. He's working on it. He's figuring out the chords. He's not totally playing them right, but he's playing them, man.
Like
he's playing them.
he hears it. It's just he's not finding the right note yet.
No, he's playing the notes. He's just playing them in 12. Do you play?
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Put it this way. He's playing his D chord in a very weird way, but it works. I don't know what else to say about
Just
it. Like,
using a different voice.
he's using a different finger pattern, but you know what? It works for the kid, and I'm not going to tell him not to do it because that's all you need to learn. You just learn how to play 3 or 4 chords and just keep playing and keep practicing. But yes, apparently at 2 a.m, his neighbor's been yelling,
you
"Shut
can't
the
be doing
hell
that.
up!"
You can't be doing that. If you play a musical instrument and you live in a situation where you share a wall with somebody, you got to have hours. If you have a good neighbor, you have a discussion with them. You say, "Here's what I'm going to play," and they say, "That's fine." If not, it's a 9 p.m. cutoff at the latest.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I-
it's like
I
think of it.
wouldn't know.
Think of it as mowing your lawn, right? Like if your neighbor gets out and they're mowing their lawn at 7:00 in the morning, you want to wring their neck, right?
Out.
Exactly. Same thing. If you don't want to be playing your musical instruments early in the morning, late at night. It's not. Good.
So in my 20s, I attempted to play music. I sang. My buddies were in a band. I had another buddy that played in an emo pop punk band who opened for the Starting Line, Nick, and that's how
That's
I
right.
met the brand new, the band. So I didn't know any of these people. Just my buddy was, I guess, big, and I didn't know that because I didn't care about any of the bands. But I played music for a long time. But we, my buddies rented an actual studio. And, dude, the parties at that studio, man, like, they would say, hey, nothing after 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, that's when the party started.
Of course, yeah.
But we were just jamming in
Yeah.
a room, and it's just people drinking in the
Yeah.
hallways.
Drinking,
And
smoking,
it was at I don't know if it exists anymore, but at Norfolk County Music. But there was a stair in the back. Then, like, you would just see people lying. It looked like a frat house. But, yeah, that when we played music, like, there was just people partying, listening to music, man. And
I would not have pegged Barth as a burgeoning guitarist. I'm thinking of that character from Grease, Duty.
Yeah.
Hey, Duty, where'd you get the guitar? Oh, just I'm learning a C, A minor, and an F. Like, that's Barth to me right now.
Yeah, and he'll get there.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, he's new, he's green, and you know what? It's never too late to pick up something.
No.
he kind of reminds me of a Ray Manzarek, somebody
from the Doors,
that
yeah.
would, be on the keys. You know what I
Sure.
mean? Like,
Yep.
that's what I feel like Barth would be, but kumbaya, right? He goes to what, Hull, Nantasket
Yep.
Beach?
There's nothing more. How shall I say this? And I say this as a guitar player, douchey as the guy who breaks out the guitar on the beach.
That's right.
But you know what?
I have no problem with that. I know people say that all the time. Bring the guitar out, baby. Like, get that thing out. But if you start playing all that other stuff, I'm out.
Here's the problem. You need to be able to play.
Yes.
And it's the folks who don't know how to play that ruin that thing. Like, I would encourage Barth to not bring the guitar out on the beach at this point. Practice in your room, annoy your neighbor, but don't annoy the rest of the beach. 2 years from now, bring it out on the beach. You'll be the most popular guy.
Maybe it's an age thing, right? Maybe Barth shouldn't be bringing his guitar out on the beach, but if you're like a teenager and you're looking to like pick somebody up,
Sure, yeah.
15, 16-year-old down there, playing guitar, trying to see if anybody's interested in, a little late night beach hookup.
Yeah.
Freebird.
Listen, I used to go to we lived in Boston, so we would meet our friends in Marshfield, Hummerock.
Yeah.
And we had good acoustic guitars in the car, and we would sit up at Hummerock, and at night, if there was a fire, we would pull out the guitar.
There you go.
A little bit of put on a little Dylan. We just, speaking of that, there's a Dylan on the line. Hello, Dylan.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, man.
I'm here from Anchorage, Alaska, so I'm way far away. First of all, I think that Felger was wrong with the Higgins pick.
Oh, do you have a music take or anything about what we're talking about?
Music.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the Bridge City Sinners?
No, but what's going on in Alaska? Talk to me about that.
A whole lot of bullshit.
Dummy up. You know what? That's not how we're starting the day today.
No.
Dummy up is what I always say. There we go. Yeah. Oh, I saw a Led Zeppelin cover band recently. Into the Lead?
Not heard of them. I've heard of Les Zeppelin, the all-female Led Zeppelin
Ooh, I
cover.
like that.
They're fantastic.
Well, the one
tour.
thing I noticed about when I went to the cover band is they needed 4 guitarists to not 3,
No.
4
Yeah.
to do Jimmy Page, and I thought that this is impressive to me. But so you had a nice little jam session with Barthy.
Yeah, it was a good time. Just
And does
Barthy
anybody
and
else? Can you play anything else?
Bass.
Okay.
Bass is my real
See,
instrument.
I could play everything. I'm just not good at it.
Oh, I'm not saying I'm good either.
Like I could get on drums right now and play. I just wouldn't tell you I'm the best at it.
Bass.
Bass is simple.
Guitar.
No. If
drums.
I'll sing too.
I mean, do we jam
I
later
think so.
this week? Do we have a little
I will
studio jam
just-
session like
do
we
you
did
sing?
with Wallach?
I'll bring in
and,
my acoustic.
I can sing, yeah.
Yeah.
Just want to. I feel like you're a pretty confident guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like you. I can do a little bit of everything. I'm not a drummer, but I can sit down on the drums and keep
But
it
the
beat.
best thing to do is when you jam out is to change.
Yeah.
Your
Yes, change the instrument.
Yeah, exactly.
Bass one song, guitar the next, keys over here. Yeah.
I like that, Matt. I got, you just gave me the itch. I will say this, when I first wanted to learn guitar, I learned the Nirvana Unplugged album, start to finish, easy.
Yeah.
Now, people might overrate Kurt Cobain a little bit, but he made it so easy that's why it's great. But that's how I learned. I went to guitartabs.com.
Yes.
And I'm like, do. Now, I got big hands, baby. So, the guitar and the big
Bass.
hands. Yeah.
No,
You
you
could say
belong
you
on
could
the
clip
bass.
and save that. That was a good one, right there, actually.
Oh, I want to get into somebody with big hands later.
Ooh,
I got
a tease.
Yeah, good tease. Somebody actually
Didn't know it was this kind of morning.
We did a lot of arm length at the NFL draft.
Yes, we did.
I'm going to tell you, there's a guy. The Celtics drafted somebody with the biggest hands in the draft, bigger than Kawhi Leonard's. Do you know what Kawhi Leonard's nickname is?
The glove?
The Claw.
The claw.
The claw, yeah.
Gary Payton's
His
glove.
hands
That's
are
right.
bigger than the Claw.
Really? Okay.
The Celtics drafted him.
The claw.
Was that a transition?
We'll be talking Celtics at 7:25 this morning, and we got
Noah Delzell will be
Noah
joining
Delzell's
us
at
from
8:25
CLNS.
this morning. Plenty of Celtics this morning. Absolutely.
That's right. Well, you know what? I like this jam session that we're doing right now.
Yeah.
What are we playing? That's the question.
What do we say? Joe's on drums. I'm playing guitar. You're playing bass.
Yeah.
We got to find some. All right, here's what we got to find some common ground. So Joe and I are like 90s rock,
I can
alternative
totally- I
rock,
can
grunge
totally get
guys.
into
You can
that.
get in
Oh,
on
yeah.
that?
Honestly,
exactly.
you know what I think is the easiest?
2000s pop punk.
I was going to say Green Day.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can
Like
do
when
that.
I come around.
When I played in when I was in high school and played in cover bands, absolutely that
It's
was on
just simple.
the playlist. Yeah. Yep. 4 chords.
And it's just, exactly.
Yep.
Like, it's,
Exactly.
It's simple.
It's an easy one.
You know, everybody can sing along.
Stacy's mom.
Oh yeah.
God.
You ready for he's going to love this one.
Sure.
Okay, those are both great. Up tempo. You
Yep.
need something to bring things down a little bit. This is where we bring Joe out to sing some vocals and harmonies too. We're going to cover Nutshell by Alice in
That was
Chains.
one of the first. That's an incredible,
That's
sad, awesome song.
Beautiful song.
Beautiful.
song.
It's
Yep.
it's a thing of beauty, man. All right. Well, I just got sad. What happened last night? We'll find out next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. What's going on in Alaska? Talk to me about that.
A whole lot of bullshit.
Up.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
If you're going to The events, the news. What happened last night? Brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happened. Trust me, I think the same thing every day. Change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lepresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. Guys, Celtics are going to look different.
Didn't get in on that action, too. They signed Luke Cornett for 4 years, $41 million. The former Celtics just a year off from a championship. Big man still isn't quite Wemby big, though. Just a few inches off there.
The Condor, gone. Robbed of all those max calls moving forward. 4 years, $41 million for Luke Cornett.
Good for Luke Cornett, man.
Same. Yeah. Great. Get paid more than you should be. Great. Excellent.
Luke Cornett, if people don't know his story, played at Vanderbilt. Really smart kid. Was a three-point shooter as a 7-footer. He's a true 7-footer, I will say that. Struggled with the Knicks. Was kind of almost out of the league. Had like stops with Cleveland. He was with the Celtics. They played him in the G League. I think he went maybe Chicago for a little bit. Came back to the Celtics. Like, he has been a journeyman. And last year, he what a teammate. Like, he was a really big part of what the Celtics championship team last year obviously was very reliable. I could give you some numbers on him on the floor versus when he was off the floor. They were all plus numbers, positive numbers with him on the floor. So I know it's easy to say, hey, for a backup, like, you don't need a guy who make 6 points per game, 5 rebounds. But he was charismatic and did everything right. Pick and roll, good defense. He contested every shot. I know people called it the Cornett contest. He was lovable, man. He was dancing during practice. Tatum and Brown loved him. This is a significant loss as far as a personality in that room. But I'm happy he got the money. But
you know, the thing about Cornett is he almost forced them to play a little bit of a different way when he was out there. Because I know you said he was a three-point shooter in college. He was not really that in the NBA. When Cornett was in the game, the Celtics didn't go 5 out. He could give them a little bit more of a traditional big man presence. I'm not saying that you can't find that somewhere else. I'm not saying that you can't find Luke Cornett. I just don't think the Celtics have any interest in finding Luke Cornett somewhere else. And, you know, we'll get into the guy they've replaced him with theoretically in a second, but it's just another sign that this offseason is not going the right way for the Celtics.
I think it's going the way they want, Matt.
The way ownership wants, Joe.
I think that I think we're now being slapped in the face with Bridgier. We're being slapped in the face. I think they're going to get under the first apron. So what we're watching right now, I think they're collecting pieces that are stopgaps that maybe build value that they can sell as an asset. As far as competing this year, I don't think we should be analyzing trades in return or free agent signings because they're not going to compete for a championship this year.
So Cornett gone, Porzingis gone,
Drew Holiday.
Holiday. But, I mean, you still have Al Horford, right? Right?
According to reports, prior to the start of free agency, the Golden State Warriors were making Al Horford a top priority. The Warriors lost Kayvon Looney in free agency, and they're looking for a big man. The Celtics, Knicks, Nuggets, Cavs, and Lakers have also reportedly expressed interest in Horford.
If you were Horford, why would you come back here?
I wouldn't, but the reason why he would is because he can probably get some sort of veteran minimum here. I think he might be able to get more in the open market if he waits out.
Seems like it.
But would you want him to stay, Adam 12?
Would I want him to stay? Sure, because as you just ran down, no Porzingis, now no Luke Cornett. You need to have some big, right? And a guy like that, you know what you're getting with him, even with his age. And you know that, as you just pointed out, veteran minimum, he'd be a value player. But if I'm Al Horford, what's the drive to come back here? If I have these other teams that are interested in me and that are probably going to pay me, definitely going to pay me more than I'm going to get if I stay in Boston. I've already won my ring here. I already kind of accomplished what I set out to do. So great. Go get paid for probably the last contract I'll get in my career from Al Horford.
I think to answer the question, he'll play. He'll play here. He might start. He could come off the bench. He could mentor.
That's good, yeah.
And him, he has a great relationship with Tatum and Brown. He's the mentor. There's a possibility that he could get his number retired here. We can get into that later.
Thank you for the championship, Luke Cornett. When do we get the Al Horford news, do you think?
The Jimmy Stewart program last night was tremendous radio.
I listened.
It's great.
I feel like I'm getting Wally pipped. Jimmy Stewart?
You are.
Jimmy Stewart in a chair by himself for 4 hours? Oh, was that a moan? Where do you live? Well, a lot of moaning going on tonight, huh? Horford,
Joe Mazzulla's birthday, so he was very excited about that.
The thing with Horford for me is this. Do you want to play for the Celtics, or do you want to go to the Lakers who need a big? Do you want to play with Jokic? Do you want to try to play for Dallas or one of these Golden State? He could win a ring and get paid. To me, that is good. That to me sounds enticing.
You say he wants to play. He's not going to play on back-to-backs here, no matter what. He's not going to play back-to-backs anywhere. What does it really matter to Al Horford if he's starting or if he's a role player?
The Oklahoma City Thunder literally paid him to not play.
That's true.
Good gig if you can get it.
Yeah, that's the best. Really, the best gig you could ask for.
And I think that kind of worked out for him. It kind of worked out for both sides on that one. You're not going to play. And you know what? I have a take on this. We'll get into it later. With everything the Celtics are doing right now, we're talking about guys playing. My take originally, when Tatum got hurt and Brown needed surgery, was sit both Tatum and Brown this year, get back into the lottery. You guys know next year's lottery is legit, right?
Yeah.
There's no. There's this year's draft sucked.
Yep.
S, big S, capital S sucked. Next year it's DeBonsa. There's a lot of really good high school prospects. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm not saying tank, because you're already bridging, right? We're already bridging. Hot take, you need to be wary about Jaylen Brown and Derek White now. They're assets that you need to protect. Derek White's going to be 31 in a year, making under $30 million. That's an asset in this league. Jaylen Brown off a knee injury, making $50 million. You want him with Tatum. That's when he's best. He doesn't need to be the number one option to show what he can do. We know what you can do. Their best interest is literally backing away from the poker table, cashing in some of your chips, holding it for a year, selling these crap assets that you're attaining right now. Let them play, build them up, pump them, dump them, and go all in next year with Jason Tatum. They now need to protect their assets.
Joe, they're not going to tank. They just got Luka.
2-year, $5.5 million deal. Garza has averaged 5 points per game over a 4-season NBA career, but this past year, he went down 3.5 points per game with Minnesota, the lowest output of his career.
You tricked us, Matt McCarthy. That's not the right move.
Not that Luka.
You scoundrel.
Luka Garza.
Do you guys know who Luka Garza is?
No, I don't,
Okay,
Joe.
let me educate you.
Please. Thank you, please. No, this is exactly what I need this morning.
This is
Make me feel good.
Luka Garza was the Wooden Award winner out of Iowa. Was the best player to come out of Iowa since Caitlin Clark. But yes, he was a dominant college basketball player who played the post and got drafted in the second round.
Well, seems like a great fit here in Boston. Can you shoot the three, Joe?
Well,
can he do anything, Joe?
In his career, he's taken 156 threes.
How many has he made, Joe?
49. Joe math, that would be 31%.
It's good Joe math right there.
He's played 30 minutes in a game 3 times in his career. He's played between 20 and 29 minutes 5 times.
So he's a
in
stiff.
His career.
Joe, say it. Say it.
Dude,
say it.
Dude has flat out sucked in the NBA and it's like the Heisman winner. You know, the Heisman winner gets the big, then gets drafted and he sucks. But
so Greg Kite numbers that he just gave us right there, Matt
listen,
McCarthy. Late career.
I'm not
Kite numbers.
I'm not going to sit here and praise the Luka Garza move. The Luka Garza move shows you,
but
they're going to suck.
But I'm waiting for the button.
Oh no,
here,
no,
Joe.
you know what? No, sell the green because again, I'm not a green teamer.
I don't know about that.
Know what the green teamers are going to sell you, Matt?
What?
Brad. Brad loves him. They tried to get him at the trade deadline last year. He's a great post player. 6'10", he can play in the post. How's that work in the league? How's that work in Missoula's offense?
Not great, Joe.
So again, they're going to try to get something out of him, pump him, and dump him. What sucks about the Celtics is they're not going to be competitive for the first time in 9 years. They're not going for it. That sucks. Why are they not going for it, Matt McCarthy?
Because they have a new owner who doesn't want to pay for it. Period. End of story. This has been this guy's business model. We'll get into it a little bit later on. Take a look at Bill Chisholm's business history. It should scare the hell out of you as a Celtics fan. They're not going for it, Joe. They definitely are not. You know who is? The Florida Panthers.
Brad Marchand, 37 years young, signs a 6-year contract worth Trent Frederick money. Under $32 million. Our guy is going to play forever. Pete, Florida Panthers are psychos.
Our guys at the What Chaos podcast, Brad Marchand, re-signing in Florida. 6 years. 6 years. $5.25 million per year. I can't believe they gave that guy
He'll be
6 years.
43 years old at the end of that deal.
There's no way he makes it that far. No. But it's smart. It's savvy because they retain the player when they're going for it. You probably cut a little deal when he retires. He still gets his money type of thing. You spread out the cap hit. That's a team that's going for it.
How old will he play until?
43.
Who else did that in Florida? Tom Brady. Just saying, is that like where is this now the thing? Go to Florida. Oh, am I going to bring up the income tax? Is this what I'm doing right now?
No.
Not doing that.
You're not doing that. But I'm bringing this up. We talked a little bit about this in the control room last week. Like, what's the definition now of a dynasty in professional sports? Because of the way that caps have changed in the cap leagues and the way that free agency has changed things. The Florida Panthers have to be considered a dynasty already. I mean, they went to 3 straight Cup Finals. They've won 2.
Yeah,
correct?
I think a dynasty involves 3 championships. I think they're a mini.
Okay, so
I think
your
they're a mini
definition is 3
dynasty.
championships, and that's now a possibility.
Like you would
for them.
consider the Spurs,
Yes,
Warriors,
yes,
because they won more.
No doubt.
Okay,
but the Panthers are the team of the decade so far, and they are a mini dynasty.
Okay.
Would you consider like Tampa Bay Lightning?
They won 2.
Pittsburgh Penguins.
They won 2. Pittsburgh won 2. Spread out a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Pittsburgh won in like 09 and like 16 or something like
with
that.
Kessel.
Yeah. See, I consider the Blackhawks a dynasty.
Chicago.
There's a team
There
that
you go.
won 3 in 6 years.
Yeah.
That's a dynasty.
That's a good. And they beat the Bruins too.
They did.
They beat good competition too.
Florida remains the best team in hockey as presently constructed. They kept everybody.
Right.
The story here with the Marchand thing is the Bruins had a $7 million offer or more, like 7 and change. He said no. He was making 6.5. None of us thought he was worth the $7 million. Nobody did. Instead, he gets 5.5 in 6 years.
It's about the total.
I get you.
Yeah.
He was not going to get $32 million a year with the Bruins.
There was no chance.
Nope.
Even if they signed a 3-year deal, he would have got, what, 22 million? Yeah, he made an extra $8 to $10 million. He bet on himself, but just 6 years, dude, that is, for this guy, if anybody can do it, maybe it's him. The hip injury is healing. Woof. I'm sorry. 6 years, dude, for a 37-year-old guy.
Their attitude is, we don't care if we're paying this guy in his 40s because our run is over anyway. They're going for one more.
Yep. And that would make them a dynasty according to your
Sure would.
definition, yeah.
Going for 3. The 3-peat
Yep.
is on the table. Love more here on the other side. Matt McCarthy's in today. Adam 12 is here. We're with you guys all morning long on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Brad Marchand staying in Florida, 6 years, $5.25 million per year. This comes ahead of NHL free agency opening at noon today. The big move in hockey yesterday, Vegas executing a sign and trade with Toronto for Mitch Marner. They signed him to an 8-year, $96 million contract. NBA free agency opened last night. Luke Cornett off to San Antonio, 4 years, $41 million. Celtics signing big man Luka Garza, 2 years, $5.5 million. No word yet on Al Horford. Golden State Warriors reportedly a potential destination. Memphis signing Jalen Jackson to a 5-year max deal, $240 million. Nuggets trading Michael Porter Jr. and a 2032 first-rounder to the Nets for Cam Johnson. Red Sox beat the Reds 13-6 last night at Fenway Park. Garrett Crochet's first win at Fenway. Wilyer Abreu, a grand slam, and an inside-the-park home run. Headlines are brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your drive-through oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people. I'm Matt McCarthy on Boston's Home for Sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update, 30 minutes.
happened last night. There's more?
There's more, Joe. It's a very busy time of year, at least for the next week, and then good luck to all of us. Have fun with that next week, 12. How about some baseball history at Fenway Park last night, huh?
Yes.
A 7-0 lead in the first inning. A high drive way back there toward the triangle. Friedel racing back, and that one is going to be off the wall. That's going to keep on rolling in the warning track. Here comes William rounding third. He's trying to score. Looking for an inside to Parker. He dives in with an inside the park home run.
You like a little inside the park home run action? Baseball Joe over there. You like inside the Parkers? It's a long way to run.
No.
No.
It does nothing for me.
Really?
I was, back in my day.
So exciting, though.
Back in my day.
Rare.
I was a left-handed batter, so there always wasn't a fence on the other side. There was always one for the righties. I had to run the balls out.
You didn't like that?
A lot of triples in my day. Believe it or not. Nipples for triples over here.
Joe Murray Parkway Little League triples leader?
Well, actually, more probably high school. Next level. Varsity, baby.
Joe.
Yeah.
I love you. I do. I don't believe you on this one.
What?
That you led your high school league in triples?
Probably, yeah. Because we had no fence and right, dude. I was a baller.
That makes a difference. That does make a difference.
Sure.
I mean,
should I show you? I can probably find the stats.
We had the two little league fields in Wakefield. They probably still do. Sullivan had a fence and Moulton did not. And I mean, if you hit in Moulton, you could do what Willie Abreu did last night.
I played a
park home runs all day.
I played at Cabot Field in Newton, Massachusetts. I had to hit a home run opposite field in order for it to go out of the park. If you didn't, you had to run the bases. And, well, I wasn't slow. This big guy wasn't slow. But, yeah, I don't care about the inside the park home run. I feel like it's almost cheesy, like someone overplayed a ball or was out of position or there was a wild bounce. So do I give somebody credit for hitting an inside the park home run? Sure. But
doesn't sound like it.
But what's more impressive, there's just more impressive things on a baseball field.
Sure, but it's kind of weird. It's cool. I agree. Some inside the park home runs are complete flukes. Jaron Duran doesn't see the ball, doesn't run after the ball. There's an outfielder mistake. The outfielder mistake home run, inside the park home run, whatever. This one last night, 418 into the triangle. It takes a weird bounce off the bullpen wall. But if you hit it 418 into the triangle, you deserve good things at Fenway Park.
And that's what makes the difference. And that's one of the things that's great about Fenway Park. For all that's bad about it, there's one of the good things is you can do that, as we saw. It doesn't happen often, but it's a great ballpark for that to happen. And because of that triangle out in center field.
That's Joe?
I can't have this anymore.
That's
that
triple.
Pesky pole down there, stupid. Cedon Rafaela's home run this year, a game-winning home run. We're really going to celebrate that thing? Right, for real? No, we're not. We're not.
You're not going to.
Listen,
we all agree to play by the rules. That's the ballpark we agreed to play in, Joe.
So you that wasn't a fake win.
Fake win? They came back and won that game.
This guy wants to take away the pesky pole. I was sitting.
No, I'm not saying.
At Fenway Park in Game 1 of the 04 World Series.
One weird, fluky thing that happens once a year, like we're going to freak out about
take it
that?
away. Mark Bellhorn doesn't bang that one off in
Guys,
Game 1 of the 04 World Series. You can't take it away.
Pole. It's about whether it's a crap home run or not. It is.
That was a crap home run.
Thank you. That's it. Rest my case.
But it's a fake win. What'd they come back from in that game, Joe? You tell me. It's a fake win. Give me the details of it.
They came back to win. They
did.
Were getting smoked. 7-0 and came all the way back.
I'm gonna
day game.
I'm gonna focus on all the wrong things the Red Sox have done this year instead of some stupid win they had against the Angels.
Sorry, you asked me my opinion.
I didn't like your opinion, Joe.
Well, I apologize, Matt, but I'm not sorry.
Do you find baseball history cool? Because it's not just the inside the park home run last night.
Sox could turn this into a runaway. Swinging a high fly ball. He get underneath this one. A drive to right, and that ball is gone. A grand slam. It's a runaway indeed. 13-5.
Willie Abreu, an inside the park home run and a grand slam in the same game.
Now the grand slam. That was good. In on the grand slam.
Late inning game kind of.
I mean, he didn't do it against the infielder or backup catcher that was throwing.
Fair.
You know, like Trevor Story actually has RBIs that they count. They count them. Oh, wow, in the last 15 games he's done this. Yeah, against guys that were position players. Like, at least he crushed that ball.
He did.
He crushed it.
Crushed it.
In on the grand slam, out of the park, out on the inside the park. Stupidness.
First player in baseball history to do this since Roger Maris in 1958.
I read that. Yeah.
Didn't Pokey Reese do it?
Nope.
Roger Maris.
What?
Same player. Pokey Reese,
Yeah.
Roger Maris.
No. I watched the game last night. They said it was Pokey Reese in 2004 did this. I watched
Maybe
the
he
game.
had it. Maybe he had it inside the
Unless
park in
the
2004.
Nesson stats aren't right. But I watched that game last night. That's what they told me.
I'm going.
Your stat is not the same stat. Is this two stats, one lie?
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna do that on
Is this
Friday.
for real?
I'm going with Sarah Langs, who is one of the best on this stuff. Willie Abreu is the sixth player to hit an inside the park home run and grand slam separately in a single game, joining Roger Maris in 1958, then the very famous Jim Tabor in 39, Charlie Gehringer in 1930, Everett Scott in 1923, and the legendary Jocko Fields in 1890.
Pokey Reese hit an inside the park home run May 8th of 2004. Did not hit a grand slam.
Apologize.
And I believe that was his only home run
Apologize.
of that season.
I will not apologize. You know why?
Why?
Because the inside the park home run, when we have to reference Pokey Reese, that's how meaningless it is.
Pokey Reese played for Nomar. On this day, it's July 1st.
Yes.
21 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The beginning of the end for Nomar.
That's right.
That's all that game in New York. Everybody was on the top step. Nomar was sitting on the bench. Jeter ran into the stands, got a little cut on his face. That was it.
Pokey Reese had a better catch in that game than Derek Jeter.
Was it, I'm trying to remember, was it, Pokey Reese was a fantastic glove guy.
Sure was.
Fantastic.
Fun to watch.
Cincinnati Red great, Pokey Reese.
That's right.
Reds are in town. See Tito?
Yep.
You think the owner went by and said hello?
Probably not. No. Don't think that relationship is all that good.
So, since we're in and out on things, why don't we do in or out?
I've got in or out. I got a whole bunch of them for you.
Anything else happened last night that we should?
Nah.
That's
what I care about.
About to pull up some old baseball photos for you, Matt.
Do it. Oh.
Shoeless Joe Murray.
Yes.
Love myself some old baseball photos.
I'll pop those up.
Take my pants
I
off.
just had a confirmation from someone. Joe hit a lot of triples.
You know what? You love to hear it.
Did you have did your league make baseball cards? Could you get your team photo and get a baseball card? Because I got a baseball card from
Really? From when you
League
played?
days. Yeah, absolutely. I'll try to find that on my phone. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, well, we're going to do in or out. Another hour to go here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
No word officially yet. Golden State reportedly a potential destination. Celtics made a move last night, signing big man Luka Garza, 2 years, $5.5 million. Kevon Looney went to New Orleans, $16 million over 2 years. Jaren Jackson Jr. signing a 5-year max extension in Memphis for $240 million. Michael Porter Jr. traded by the Nuggets to the Nets for forward Cam Johnson, also a first-round pick, headed to Brooklyn as part of that deal. Brad Marchand staying in Florida, 6 years, $5.25 million. Mitch Marner going to Vegas, a sign and trade with Toronto, 8 years, $96 million. Red Sox beat the Reds 13-6 last night at Fenway Park. Willie Abreu, a home run, a grand slam, and an inside-the-park home run. Garrett Crochet picking up his first win at Fenway Park. And today is Bobby Bonilla Day. He collects another $1.193 million from the New York Mets and will do so every day on this every year on this day through the year 2035. Headlines are brought to you by the new burgers at the 99, like the new bourbon onion burger. Or half-pound, 100% American Angus beef is sure to please. You gotta love the Nines. I'm Matt McCarthy on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update in 30 minutes.
I'm a Bostonian! This is Boston's Home for Sports.
Bow, bow, bow!
98.5 The Sports Hub.
It's called rising and grinding.
Start your
Got
day.
your finger on the pulse, Fred.
Begin your
Seldom
day
right and never wrong.
right here.
Oh.
Is that Dutcher or is that Hardy?
I know, looks like a poodle. It's an effing poodle, dumbass.
The Sports Hub.
Are you in or out? Gotta know without a doubt. I'm the one you need for a dirty deed. I'm the best. Success is guaranteed.
What's it gonna be, McFly? Are you in?
This is the stuff we do on the night show.
I like this.
Who's
Shane Victorino, Hall of Good.
Who's the list of very good? Would hopefully John Lester is not on
The
that list.
MLB Hall of Pretty Good after receiving 96% of 4,945.
Like, is that
votes.
something to be proud about?
Shane Victorino was officially elected.
I've
to
made the Hall
Pretty
of very pretty good.
I mean, he had a productive career.
He was pretty good.
He was the flying Hawaiian.
He won 2 Gold Gloves, I think, off the top of my head.
Championship
One
in
here.
2013. He was a really good Red Sox.
He
really
was
good.
he was a glue guy. I actually think Shane Victorino is the Ted Williams of the Hall of Very Good. That is the definition of, like, you know what? He was pretty good.
Just remember, whenever we talk about somebody, we now have another Hall. The Hall of Pretty Good.
He had 4 Gold Gloves. Look at that.
He was a good
Shane
player.
Victorino.
He was pretty good.
Yeah.
Victorino's 4,945 votes cast by fans on Instagram, all within 24 hours. That is good. So he received 96% of those 41,000 votes. That is the highest percentage of votes for any player in the Hall of Pretty Good's history.
Oh, so he's actually like the Cy Young or the Ty Cobb or the Walter Johnson of the Hall of Pretty Good.
Yeah, he is. It doesn't get much better than that in the
My
Hall
goodness.
of Pretty Good.
Well, I got to keep an eye on that. I like.
I'm glad I was the one who introduced you
Thank
all
you.
to the Hall of Very Good.
Who is in the Hall of Pretty Good?
We're gonna have, but that might be a segment for later on this week. Let me give you another one of these. China's viral summer trend could be making its way stateside. It's called. You ready for this, Joe Murray? The Beijing bikini. Have you heard about the Beijing bikini?
I'm interested.
Can I Google that at work?
Yes, you can. Men roll up their shirts and tuck them under their arms, exposing their bellies in an offer to cool off in the summer heat. Are you in or out on the Beijing bikini?
So, I mean, I've done it.
Really?
So would I be hypocritic? Would I be a hypocrite if I said I'm out?
Yep.
I used to tuck them under my football pads.
Okay.
Like tuck it right underneath.
Yeah,
and
there
let
you go.
Let the belly out.
Yeah.
I don't want this to be a trend.
Yeah, it's a little silly looking.
So do I do it? Yes. Am I out on the trend? Yes.
Okay.
Very hypocritical. Joe, I've never done this. I am fully, completely, totally out on this. And I will continue to live my life in such way.
Now, on a hot day, Matt, are you shirt on or shirt off?
always shirt on.
Yeah.
Nobody needs to see
No one-
this.
yeah.
Joe, look at this Irish skin.
Yeah.
You think like going shirt off
You and
is
I
a
have,
good
you
idea
and I
for
have the
me?
same skin tone here.
So
Yeah,
at
we don't
Wells
want that.
yesterday, you didn't let it all
Oh
hang
well,
out?
I went in the water, so yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm going in the water, the shirt's coming off.
Sure,
I don't wear the water shirts. Rash guard, is that what they call it?
Yeah, no,
I can't do that. If you do, that's great.
I'm
It's
a
just
large
not for me.
man. I let it all hang
Yeah,
out, baby,
why
at
not?
the beach. But
Yeah.
I do like a water shirt when it's cold.
Okay.
Yeah, like especially up north. Wells Beach, water cool yesterday?
It was cool, but it was cold as it always is. It's cold getting in, and then you get used to it, unless you're a wimp, and then you complain about it, which is a thing that I am out on. I am out on complaining about the water temperature in New England. If you don't like it here, move someplace else.
Don't go in the water.
You know what I do? Is I get
Shark's Home.
I get a spray bottle. I put water in a spray bottle, and when I
Okay.
get hot,
There you go.
But I went to Plum Island last week. It was freezing.
Yeah.
Numb freezing.
Well, that's different. I mean, if you go early enough in the season and you need a wetsuit, that's a different situation. All right, so you're out on the trend of the
Yes,
beige and beige.
out.
What was the other one we used to do back in the day? You'd lift your shirt. You wouldn't
You'd
take
put
your
it
shirt
over
off.
your
You
head.
put it over your head.
Yeah.
So it's like still on your arms and shoulders, which I thought was an interesting.
It also protect your neck from getting sun as
sunburned.
well.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so Nick Gemelli posted a photo on Twitter yesterday. Yesterday was the 30th of June. Today's the 1st of July. The photo that Nick posted was of a Michael's Craft Store. You're familiar with the chain
Sure.
Michael's,
Yes,
right?
very.
They had a display of Halloween items out.
Out.
Are you in or out on Halloween items in retail chains at the end of June?
Yeah, no Christmas, no Halloween, no Easter. Out.
Out.
This might be a strong out.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Out. I am in on this being a strong out.
What would be the next holiday that we should be? July
4th of July.
4th of July. Oh, no, they had those out back in March, April, I guess. It's really ridiculous. And my problem with the trend is that it's become normalized, that people aren't angry enough about it.
Well, it's out there because there's some idiots who are going to buy it.
Yes, exactly.
There's data behind this. There are people out there who are buying their Halloween stuff right now.
They wouldn't do it if otherwise.
Correct.
Real quick, I am upset that they have gotten rid of some Christmas tree shops.
Yes.
I feel as though the Christmas tree shop can be a year-round event, but you are going to the Christmas tree shop.
Yes.
So therefore, if there's Christmas items at the Christmas tree shop, that's acceptable.
No, I agree because the Christmas tree shop had a little bit of everything, even though the name was what the name was. Yeah. But yes, I agree with you there. Where yes, if you go into the Christmas tree shop in June or July, expect to see some Christmas items because the name is the Christmas.
But
tree
I
shop.
don't want a spirit Halloween.
No,
on July 1st.
Oh well, I got news for you. You're going to be seeing those in August,
Probably
probably
gotta
early
get
August.
those leases in.
That's
what I mean?
right, exactly. In the old Pier 1 Imports.
Yeah, at the Saugus Mall.
Exactly. Yeah, there you go.
Man, this place has everything.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's a spirit Halloween. Okay, I'm glad we're all out on that. If any of you were in, I would have been upset. Let's talk about a different story. The latest chapter of the Market Basket saga. Two suspended executives who are loyal to the company's CEO. It's this whole Game of Thrones situation. They visited two New Hampshire Market Basket stores yesterday to say thank you to retiring employees, even though these two executives suspended. They're not allowed to do that. So, of course, outrage was sparked across the company. My question is to you two gentlemen, are you in or out on the Market Basket drama? Have you followed the story?
Yeah,
You're
it's
interested in
two
it?
brothers. I get it. Here's the deal. I love Market Basket.
Who doesn't?
I can get a sandwich for $5.
Oh,
Now,
it's incredible.
I showed you the tuna sandwich that
Oh.
you thought I probably could have got a better deal on.
You
but
definitely could have
I
got.
showed you
You
what I
didn't
got.
get that at Market Basket though.
I think I did.
I thought you got it somewhere else.
Oh, I'll have to think about it. The only issue I have with Market Basket,
Yeah.
and I've had a lot of Market Basket wars at night. We do it. If they have a great steak and cheese up. The only problem that I have with it is, let's say you're waiting in a long line. You have to get your ticket.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just walk up and order. You need to get a ticket.
Right.
That's rule number one. But if somebody orders a steak and cheese sub, you might as well just leave.
Yeah, it takes forever.
They sit there and make it like that's the most important thing in the world. Now, I appreciate that on one
Craftsmanship.
aspect.
How can you not?
Have you ordered it?
But, you can put the beef down, let it simmer, and go, put in a pound of chicken wings while you're doing. I like to multitask. So that's the one thing I'm out on at Market Basket. If you're there to get some chicken fingers or chicken wings or an empanada and somebody orders a steak and cheese sub, you might as well just leave because they're going to craft that thing. They're going to care for one person. They're not multitasking. I'm out on people who get steak and cheeses, even though they're very good at Market Basket.
This is a north of town thing. I think you really have to be from the North Shore to really, really, truly care about the Market Basket thing.
I agree.
I was in on this thing 10 years ago just because it was such a cultural thing, and we didn't even really have Market Baskets out to town at that point. Like, it had not appeared yet. I love Market Basket. I love Demoulas. I don't need it anymore.
You're out on the drama. I'm out on the drama as well.
Oh. I'm out on the basket. You know why? Wegmans has come into the market.
That's true.
That's all I need.
Mrs. Lloyd.
That's right.
Speaking of the wars,
yes,
isn't Aldi like the what's Aldi? Is that Trader Joe's or is that Market Basket?
I think Aldi is meant to compete with Trader Joe's. I'm a Trader Joe's guy. That's mine. I mean,
sure.
Market Basket's great, but I'm Trader Joe's.
The place is jammed.
When I'm there, it is. Every other Friday after the show, after we wrap up here, Trader Joe's. That's where I'm heading, doing my shop. That's
always
what I'm doing.
jammed.
That's right. Yeah, good luck getting in and out of the parking lot. That is the thing. That's what I'm out. I'm in on Trader Joe's. If we're talking about these grocery stores, I'm in on Trader Joe's. I'm out on the fact that every Trader Joe's parking lot is a Mad Max movie.
Yeah,
the place is jammed.
Yes, it's ridiculous.
The one in Danvers, bro. That's a nightmare.
It's Thunderdome. Two cars enter, one car leaves.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
I will tell you, though. Tell me something Trader Joe's does wrong.
Oh,
just
nothing.
Give me something.
We'll sit here all morning.
Have you ever had the chocolate-covered bananas?
Yes.
Chocolate-covered pretzels, chocolate-covered peanut butter pretzels. But I'll tell you, and this was one that we figured out early and became a trend, and now everybody is in on, is the Trader Joe's version. You were talking about this last week on In or Out, Joe. You're a big Takis fan.
I love hot Takis.
Trader, because you were in on the Wendy's Takis sandwich they have going on now.
Mm-hmm.
Trader Joe's has their version of Takis. And I'll tell you,
game changer.
I'll take theirs over Let's get into them. And forget about it. They're 16 and 20 now. They're taking down a bag of those a day if I let them.
What are those little candies called? Swimmers? You guys know what I'm talking about? There's like this Trader Joe candy. I'll look it up.
Okay, look it up. I don't know that one.
Oh, it's addicting.
Yeah.
Scandinavian Swimmers? Look those up.
Okay, all right. Putting that on my list.
Did you get that? Did you get that one right?
I know,
It's the season for swimmers. Hooray.
Yeah.
And we don't mean the multitudes who are rushing to swimming holes and diving into pools to escape the sweltering heat. We're talking about Trader Joe's Scandinavian Swimmers.
Oh, baby.
So it's almost like a hybrid of a Swedish fish and
like
a gummy
bear.
No,
bear.
guys.
Yeah.
You need the Alpha Alert team to get that bag away from you.
Or is this
Sorry.
Okay?
You definitely get your hands dirty.
If this is the Alpha Alert team, Joe, is this the Haribo gold, gummy bear experience on the other end?
It's bigger.
No.
You need you need things taken away from you.
Yeah.
The Scandinavian Swimmers, baby.
You're just not letting those go.
You got to have
Until
someone
they're
take
gone.
them away from
Yeah.
you. Yeah. And then you get sick.
Yeah.
Your belly gets all tight with gummy.
So Trader Joe's.
Scandinavian Swimmers.
Scandinavian Swimmers.
Oh, baby.
All right. Those are going on the shopping list the next time I head over to Trader Joe's.
Anything else?
Yeah, I'll give you one more. The first reviews for Jurassic World Rebirth have hit Rotten Tomatoes, and, they're rotten. Nick Gemelli and Bird, we sent them to the movie last week. They did a review. They begged to differ. They liked it. Nick's actually, he's thumbs up. He's in. He's in on Jurassic World, the new Jurassic World movie. Are you in or out on the new Jurassic World movie, Jurassic World Rebirth, which I believe debuts this weekend?
Is Chris Pratt in it?
Okay. No.
No?
He's not. But Scarlett Johansson is in.
In.
That's all I needed to hear.
Hey, real quick, in or out on Al Horford's number being retired in Boston?
Out. Okay, but by Celtic standards?
By Celtic standards, but by my own out.
Just in general, do you think that Celtic standards, and realistically, he should be.
Okay, by Celtic standards, yes. By any realistic standards, no. But the Celtics retire names for the love of God.
Because Al's going to the Hall.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, that's another thing. Who isn't, right?
Yeah, but
Al's pretty loose haul out there.
Al's got stripes to rap about that. Like, he's...
Oh, I'm not...
Two-time college champion, NBA champion.
I'm not diminishing the college and professional accomplishments of Al Horford. He is an all-time great. He deserves the accolades. But I'm agreeing with Matt McCarthy's point that, for another team, no. But for the Celtics, yes.
I know we're late, but if you guys make food, right, you know how, like, people use breading or breadcrumbs or whatever. Have you used anything else besides, like, your typical shake and bake breadcrumbs or something? Like, I've used Cheez-Its before.
Ritz crackers.
Ritz crackers is another one.
Cheez-Its is a great one. OG Cheez-Its. No flavors, just regular Cheez-Its.
I've never used Takis, but I'm thinking about it.
You could do that. You actually, back to the Trader Joe's Takis, because they're a little lighter, meaning that the corn chip they use to make them is a little thinner. You'd be better. Those will crush up nicely. I feel like the Takis are a little heavier, a little thicker, the corn
You
chip.
definitely get your hands dirty.
You will. You're going to have that red stuff on your hands, but that's a good idea.
So, like, no panko. I'm talking.
Yeah. I love panko,
Just
too.
something. Ritz, I've done.
Yep.
Cheez-Its, I've
too.
done.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the Takis.
I like Cheez-Its, too.
Takis encrusted, like, pick a whitefish that you like. That'd be nice. Fry that up.
By the way, just for a recommendation, we're late. Of course. Trader Joe's makes the greatest coffee rub I've ever had.
Oh.
Rub it down.
It's seasonal, and I actually bought a case of it because it's seasonal. But it's number one on pork chops, for those who are wondering.
Okay.
That's your public service announcement for today.
It's in or out for today.
It's in or out for today. We'll have more sports coming up next here on the Sports Hub.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Oh, I wish I had a red backwards hat on right now and did it all for the nookie.
It's the summer of '99 in here. What happened?
Literally. I came into this world to reject. Look into these eyes. Back here on the morning show, 98.5 The Sports Hub. No Fred, no Hardy, no Wallach. Matt McCarthy's here. Adam 12 wearing a red hat.
It's not backwards. Not yet.
Not yet,
Hey,
12.
I think about the day my girlie went away. I in on Limp Bizkit, buddy.
Out on Limp Bizkit.
No.
You want to do a little rolling?
Hey. Listen, I get it. Some people, it's not for them. Yeah, all that. Okay.
Yeah!
Exactly. Okay. But, and I do want to get into Brad Stevens' comments, as you heard there. I went to summer sanitarium. It had to be what? 5, 4, something like that.
Yeah, earlier.
It was when Saint Anger came out, whenever
Okay.
that was, because
Okay.
that was the album that the Metallica. But it was Limp Bizkit opened up for Metallica.
03.
03.
Metallica, Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, Deftones.
Boom.
Love them. Mudvayne.
Awesome show, and it was 1,000 degrees
Solid
outside.
lineup. That's a solid lineup.
1,000 degrees. It's just one of those days. Yeah. Limp Bizkit crushed it again. It was 2003.
Yeah.
He's very short, Fred Durst.
He is a slight man.
It's very short.
Yes.
But I'll tell you, they slap.
You know what? Maybe you were there, Joe Murray. Maybe you were one of the throngs that showed up in Kenmore Square in the summer of '99.
Pop-up
when
show?
that was a different story. That's a good one, too. When I was broadcasting live on WFNX to celebrate the release of Significant Other, and people in throngs came to buy that CD.
Yeah, I remember.
They couldn't get enough Limp Bizkit in the summer of '99.
So
Ben was huge.
Was the Nookie video on top of a Boston building, or was
that was a
something
different
else?
thing. They did that pop-up show, and it was. Now I'm not going to remember the story. I feel like WAAF leaked it. Like Opie and Anthony were on WAAF. They leaked where the location was going to be, and everybody was able to show up.
So
and
I don't know
they
why.
got shut down.
But I have Boston Billiards Fenway in my head for some reason.
Yeah. It was it was like one of the buildings across. Was that on Beacon Street or is that on Brookline Avenue?
Brookline Ave.
Brookline Avenue.
Yeah.
So it was it was a building top. It's a single-story building top across the street from that on Brookline Ave.
Well, I just wanted to give a shout out to. Yeah. This time I'm gonna let it all come out. You know what the worst though was? I got End Together now with Method Man. Who could be the boss?
See,
Looking through the crowd.
That's the one I actually liked because Method Man was on it. Because Method Man saved it. He saved it.
Living on the track with the method to get your sunblock. All right. Well, hey, did you hear that clip coming back from break? If you missed it, Brad Stevens was like, hey, we're going to make changes, everybody. And I didn't realize the tax until it was looking at me in the face. Well, who do you think that was looking at him in the face?
Oh, Bill Chisholm. Telling him, yeah, we're not going to spend this type of money, so you better do your job.
Can we just hear that one more time, Ryan, if you don't mind? Because he said the numbers were looking at him in the face. I don't think it was the numbers that were looking at him in the face. I think somebody went face to face with Brad and said, chop it up, baby.
Bill is the numbers.
Our owners, old and new, are committed to spending. There's a lot of things that go into these moves and a lot of things that are really important. Listen, again, it goes back to prioritizing our flexibility. You know, I think the second apron basketball penalties are real, and I'm not sure I understood how real until they were staring me in the face in the last month.
They were.
That's the key word. I didn't pick up on that last week.
Bill and his owners.
Yeah.
Oh, and his
it's
wife.
not him. Oh, well, I mean, his private equity buddies.
She makes money.
She does.
With her hump book. You know
Hump
that.
book.
Are you not aware?
No.
Have you?
Are you not
Seriously?
aware?
I'm not aware.
Bill Chisholm's wife is a author of a book called Hump, which helps people who are married continue their sex life.
Oh. Well, good for her.
You should look it up.
It's fantastic.
It's award-winning.
Well, it's not going to do me any good. I'm not married anymore, but, you know.
But
thanks,
no, but
appreciate
it's
that.
For the program.
and it talks a lot about Bill Chisholm.
Hump. True
Interesting.
tales of sex after kids.
All right.
Kimberly Ford is a gift to every woman who accidentally left her sex life behind in the maternity ward. Hump is a brainy and earthy, downright inspiring book.
And where
Cheerfully honest. sometimes startling, and just a bit dirty. Hump is a smart, subversive look behind real-life parental bedroom doors.
Now, Matt, do you know where her wealth comes from?
Yes, her family her great-grandfather was the guy who designed Mount Rushmore.
Correct.
Which, as Scott Zolak found, was not always there. And it was man-made.
Yes.
Man-made. Yeah.
And is actually a sacred place before it was turned into
correct.
Yes. A national monument. So
she's against that.
Just real quick, my overall thoughts on the Celtics, because I do feel at this radio station I've been very positive about the Celtics. To some people's chagrin. Some people don't like the facts that the Celtics play style a year ago made people tap out. They would get out to big leads, and everyone would tap. And it was a fact. They were one of the best teams. Whether the
Until
path,
they weren't.
But for a year and a half, I could pound my chest and push it out there.
With your Beijing bikini.
Missoula ball, baby! It worked. It worked for a year and a half. And I'll admit, they were the ones who tapped out to the New York Knicks, who still have no coach, who still don't know what they're doing, but yet are still favored ahead of the Celtics this year. So I am upset with the Celtics because they had a championship window. I'm not saying it was this little 3-year gap like the old Big Three, but this is all cost-cutting. This is not about, being flexible for future champ. No. They don't want to spend the money. They no longer want to be competitive. They might want to be competitive. They no longer are. The Luka Garza, I'm sorry. I will not pump this move. This guy's a flat-out college stiff. Great college player who peaked. But to have any expectation that Luka Garza is going to fill a role of any big man. This team doesn't have a big. They couldn't rebound, right? Points inside the paint, rim protection. The team is good. They might make the playoffs. But aspirations of a championship are over. And welcome to the island of irrelevancy, Boston Celtics fans.
And this is what you're going to get with the new owner. Because this is what he has done to every single one of his businesses. This is how Bill Chisholm has made his money.
You mentioned this last week. I'm interested in this.
It's not all from Kimberly Ford Chisholm's book career. No, Bill Chisholm and this Symphony Technology Group, 12, what they do is they specialize in something called carve-outs. So they acquire companies, and they look at where the fat is, and they trim the fat, and they keep the parts of those companies that make you money. The Celtics were the sports equivalent of a bloated company, a company that needed a carve-out from a pure business standpoint, because the Celtics, we heard maybe they didn't even make money or just kind of barely broke even when they won in 2024. They don't own their own building. They had historic luxury tax penalties coming. So here comes this guy backed by private equity who in the end truly is beholden to the bottom line more than any other type of owner, because he has to return his investment to his fellow investors, right, these private equity guys. So he was always going to come here. I said this day one. Look at his business history. He was always going to come in here and cut salary. And I guarantee you they're not done yet. It's not about the basketball anymore. It's about the bottom line for the Celtics because of Bill Chisholm.
Just real quick, they're about $18 million away from the first apron. They don't have to do anything until the trade deadline. But I'm telling you, they are not paying a tax this year. They will be under that first apron. I think Simon will be here to start the year,
and then he goes
trade chip. I think Niang trade chip. Garza will probably hang around because he's a big at $5 million,
and he's not getting paid anything.
Yeah, right. But get ready for J.D. Davison. Get ready for Neemias Queta, Baylor Shireman. They'll probably keep Hauser at this point. But I go back to my take from when all this started. I would protect Jaylen Brown, Derek White, and Jason Tatum this year. I don't know if you can bubble wrap him. I don't know if you can keep Brown down. I don't. But this is all about 2026, guys. And the other thing too is
it's not Joe. It's not about 2026.
You think it's going to get worse after?
It's about financial flexibility. That's what it's about.
I do think when Tatum comes back, they put the chips back into the table because they have to. They can't sell a fan base that has been consistently in a championship run with two great prospects who make great talents at $50 million a year.
Sure you can, because you'll be a playoff team every year. You'll be a contender in a weak Eastern Conference, and you don't have to go in deep into the tax the way that Wick was willing to do, but Wick was willing to do it because it wasn't his money.
Right.
That's right.
And in the end, it's part of Bill Chisholm's money, but it's private equity's money.
Listen, I think
some private equity bean counter somewhere going to want the Celtics going deep into the tax again? Guys, it's over. This thing is over.
Matt, you're scaring me now.
I'm trying, Joe. I'm just telling you the way it is.
I'm trying to tell the listeners that they're at the blackjack table, and they've been going full tilt. It's time to cash in some of those $500 chips. Just bring it back a little bit, baby.
It's more.
And then when Tatum comes back, go full tilt again. You're telling me
I am.
That they're cashing in. They're cashing in.
They're cashing in.
I don't like this.
You should.
No. You're preparing me for years down the line that I'm not ready for.
Yeah, I'm just doing my job.
I can do it for a year.
Mm-hmm. No.
I can't do it past a year. I'm sorry.
No one should like this because, as you pointed out, the timing of this sucks because you are in a conference that is wide open right now. The Eastern Conference.
Yep.
It's wide open.
Which is why it's
Look at the two teams that were in the Eastern Conference Finals.
No doubt.
Give me a break.
Yeah, one's without their star player and the other is without a coach.
No coach. And no idea what they're going to do.
One's not paying a tax while the other is paying a big tax.
You see, you look at it like a fan. And
Right.
you're looking at it like a fan, Joe. Okay, Tatum comes
I'm
back.
trying to look at it like a business. Like, let's get a blueprint here. The blueprint should be, let's not pay a tax this year and pay a tax next year.
How has Bill Chisholm run his businesses?
Well, I don't know this.
Well, I look into it.
No, I know.
I'm warning
Hey,
you.
Liv Schatz
Look
has
into
already
it.
given me it's over. Like you.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Private equity, not a good thing. Pags was right. Pags was right.
That's what I was going to bring up. Pag says, tax be damned. Mm-hmm.
Little easier for Pags to say that.
I'll say this, Matt. On July 1st, 2025, I think they're at the poker table and just backing away a little bit. You're telling me they're walking away from the table.
Joe, they're not walking away from the table. They've cashed in. They're walking out of the casino right now.
Irv got paid, huh?
Good for Irv. Smart businessman. Irv.
Wick's dad, man. Really cashed out. I don't like the conversation we're having.
No, I don't either.
But I think transparency is the way to go here.
I'm just trying to be honest with you, Joe. I like you. You know what, Joe? I respect you too much to not tell you the truth.
I just don't want to buy it right now.
We'll get there.
He needs some time to process, Matt. He needs some time to process.
I'll give you time.
I'm going to ask Noah Dalzell later and say, hey, what do you think's going on here? And then she'll tell us what's going on. We got, 8:25?
8:25 she'll be joining us.
Okay,
yes.
we'll do that at 8:25. I heard that there was some squatting going on in Nantucket over the weekend.
There's news.
And I feel as though if you're going to work the morning show, we must talk about the biggest couple in town, right?
Yes.
So we'll do that after the headlines. Can we talk? Is it okay to talk about that, Jordan? No, it's not. All right, well, we'll get into that coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Matt, you're scaring me now.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
I'm sorry, Joe. Just telling you the truth. You'll accept it one day. It'll be okay. You'll move on. Be a growth moment for you. NHL free agency beginning today. Brad Marchand, he's not coming back. 6 years, $5.25 million to stay in Florida. Again, that $5.25 million per year for Marchand. He gets just under $32 million as part of this signing. There through age 43. Vegas, meanwhile, executing a sign and trade with Toronto for Mitch Marner, 8 years, $96 million. NBA free agency opened last night. Luke Cornett off to San Antonio, 4 years, $41 million. Al Horford, no official word yet. Golden State Warriors said to be a potential destination. Celtics signing big man Luka Garza last night. 2 years, $5.5 million. Memphis signed Jaren Jackson Jr. to a 5-year max deal, $240 million. Red Sox beat the Reds 13-6 last night at Fenway Park. 7-run first inning. They're back at it again tonight. Coco Gauff in action this morning as the first round at Wimbledon continues. Headlines are brought to you by Celsius Energy Drinks. Refresh your energy with zero sugar essential vitamins and proven ingredients. I'm Matt McCarthy. I'm Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update, 30 minutes.
Toucher and Hardy.
I no longer love things.
Let's go. Let's ride.
98.5.
Like, let's roll the dice.
Sports Hub.
Tell you all the time about Sweeney. I'm really concerned about how they didn't, they kept him at his job, but the Jacobs didn't reach down and say, hey, but, could you shore up the scouting staff or, make some type of change? So when I see this player on the board in Hagens at 5'10", 5'11", it's the same MO Sweeney has always agreed with the scouting team on. Am I to be a selfish Bruins fan by saying, why not try something else, like a proven player and trade up and get, a sure player that's going to come in?
You are selfish.
A sure player in the draft when you took the best player available? You want to criticize the Bruins for a lot of things? Criticize the Bruins for a lot of things. I don't see the criticism in this one.
Well, he's BC kid.
Oh, so that's why we have to criticize him?
I didn't say it.
They took too many BC kids, I heard was the take.
I did not say it. I'm just letting you know that's what I heard.
Which I actually agree with because I'm a Northeastern guy, so,
Right. Well, I mean, some of us have gone to BU,
Yeah, that's true. But is that the only – what else? I like the auto pick.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, so they took the best player available.
But
Are we going to criticize them for that?
I think the fact that they go local, is that something to criticize?
What if the best player available was local? What if he was from Long Island?
Well, Charlie McAvoy was very good.
Yeah.
Matt Grzelcyk was from Charlestown.
Yeah.
Wagner was a Weymouth guy?
Walpole. Come on
Yeah.
now, Joe.
Jesus. Who's Weymouth? Charlie Coyle. Sorry, you get my guys.
No, hold on. Did you just confuse Weymouth and Walpole? You see, North Shore guy here.
Yeah. No, I'm not a North Shore guy. I live on the North Shore.
That was a North Shore comment right there.
Well, you know what?
He's gone to the dark side.
I don't care about Weymouth or Walpole.
That's offensive.
Walpole
I'm offended.
Walpole
Apologize
had
to me.
an old country buffet and a Taco Bell that I used to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And a Dream Machine arcade.
Oh, yeah.
At the Walpole Mall.
There you go.
Weymouth sucks. Sorry.
It's offensive to me, Joe.
I'm
offended.
You're from Weymouth, right? If Weymouth sucks. Sorry. It doesn't know if it wants to be Braintree or Quincy, and it's just they suck. Sorry, Weymouth people.
Some Weymouth yesterday.
The Venetian was outstanding with Italian restaurant, though. Jordan.
Hence the music.
Weymouth, Nantucket.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, South Shore. So, Bill Belichick's old girl, there was supposedly somebody squatting in Nantucket. Squatting meaning living there.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Linda or Jordan? Do we know?
That's the question.
I have been told that Linda was living there.
Yes.
I had heard the same thing.
Okay. And then there was a Christmas party last year that Linda's children run, and Jordan brought her friend who wanted to be Miss America or Miss something.
Whatever it is, it's got to be either USA or not USA. We got to make sure
we-
we get that part right.
Yes.
The cease and desist start flying around if we don't.
And by the way, knowing that her kids run it and she went out on Jordan for that, she shouldn't have gone. That's like some Valley Pills stuff.
That was a caddy move. That was a calculated caddy
That's some
move.
Vanderpump Rules stuff right there.
And guys, get ready for a summer of it because the summer season is just beginning on Nantucket.
That's right.
And you're going to be getting these stories every weekend. What's going on with Bill? What's going on with Jordan? Linda's there. She's a Nantucket socialite. This is going to be great.
Got the first one right here from the New
Bring
York
it on.
Post. Yeah,
Bring
absolutely.
It on, baby. What do we got, 12?
Belichick and Hudson hit up the Nantucket Film Festival where they
that's a big
attended
one.
a Summer House after party. Now, Summer House is capitalized, so I'm assuming that's a thing down there. I'm not
Yes,
in
the Nantucket Summer House.
Yes. After party following the screenwriters tribute on Friday. The ex-NFL coach and former Bridgewater State University cheerleader reportedly, quote, partied all night with festival attendees, unquote. At the, is it the Siaconset Casino? There's a casino down there?
I did not know there was a casino.
Neither did I. Joe
In
Murray, that seems like it
Nantucket?
would be in your wheelhouse.
I've never been to Nantucket. It's not something I've ever been able to afford.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat as
I
you.
stay in Dennis. and I can see it from across the
You definitely cannot see it, Joe.
Well, I try to.
His binoculars out.
Listen,
Spyglass.
after
30 miles
hey,
out
listen,
there.
after a few drinks and a
You
little
can
bit of
see
Mike
it.
Tyson, I can see anything you want.
You can see the vineyard
That's true.
from
I can.
Falmouth.
That's right.
You can very much not see Nantucket from Dennis, Joe.
But this was a surprising turn of events, given that, as you were pointing out, that the feud that has taken place with Bill Belichick's current girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, and his former girlfriend, Linda Holliday. They were not expected to be seen out publicly in such a way, but there they were, and as you said too, would get ready for a summer of this.
Ruffled the feathers of all the Nantucketers.
I just love how Jordan is calling Linda delusional and pathetic.
Well, is it what's the old adage? We accuse others of what we are guilty of ourselves.
How dare
something along those lines?
12. How dare you? She is a real estate mogul.
Yes, indeed she is.
She was robbed of Miss Maine.
USA.
Miss Maine, USA.
Thank you.
She was robbed of that. Miss Bangor better sleep with one eye open. She is a tremendous publicist, has never made any mistakes there.
Not at all.
I mean, she is, really a Renaissance woman. How dare you? How dare you talk down about her?
Well, did you notice the photo that Jordan shared? Did you see this?
Yeah, the next day on her Instagram story.
Do you ever see the girls at the beach where they ask, is it a hot dog or is it legs?
Yes, that's the situation.
That's the photo.
Absolutely.
And Bill has a couple of hot dogs in there.
More kielbasa's more than hot dogs.
So did anything else
Bratwurst.
happen besides that photo and they showed up and people were surprised? Is that really it?
That's it. But as Matt McCarthy pointed out, this is the beginning. This is the beginning of what will likely be a summer full of drama on Nantucket involving Bill Belichick and Jordan. Although, how much time will Bill be spending there? He's got to get ready.
Well, he does, but Jordan can spend her summer there
all the time.
So even you think about it, even without Bill, you're going to get more of that drama. She is going to seek this out. No, I'm sorry. Wait. Linda is going to seek this out because Jordan, I think we all understand, 12, has never done anything wrong.
No.
She is, really, I think, being taken down unfairly by everybody out there. The haters going to hate.
Oh.
Correct.
The song that they used on that Snapchat photo?
Tom Petty.
Wildflowers.
Did you already say that, or was I not?
No. We hadn't said that yet.
We can. That's a good one for our band to play, right?
Yeah, we could do Tom Petty. Anything Tom Petty. Kidding me? Absolutely.
Just real quick, I just tweeted the photo out so you guys can see it. At Joey Mer.
Good.
But she wrote, I have seen no other who compares with, and then it's Y-O.
Yeah, because they're doing playing the lyrics as the song plays on the Instagram.
Didn't get the whole U in there.
Because it's a screen grab.
No, but I just took that as.
Oh, you're reading a little bit into that. I see. I come back to Fred's take of how I'm bad. Like, you're just trying to. You're 73 years old. You went to the big soiree the night before. You just want to lounge around on a Sunday. And here's your girlfriend laying down next to you. No, move your leg that way. No, put your arm over there. Okay, we got to get the angle. Well, it's not actually, you know what? We're going to do the angle like this. I want to get our hands in there because we want to see the hands holding, want to see the legs, but we don't want them to be, it's just insufferable.
I was also looking for a ring.
Oh.
I did a lot of looking on that photo.
Yeah? No ring. Well, no angle. You wouldn't see it in the
I
angle.
did not see a ring.
Her hand is curled in such a way where you cannot see where a ring would be on her.
She has real nails, it looks like.
Real colorful.
Each colored differently.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work, don't you feel like?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know anything about that.
No, it's
I'm not a manicured hand
It's
kind of
amazing
guy.
she has time, given all of her business ventures. Given really the empress that she is.
That's right.
Whose legs look more like hot dogs?
Oh, hers.
Yeah,
without question. Again, he's got a kielbasa bratwurst thing going on with his. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of that.
Yeah.
On the other side here, I'm going to make a voyage.
You ready for some breakfast here?
I have no clue what I'm doing or where I'm going, so this is really going to be great. So I'm going for a walk. I have never been to the cafeteria here at our building.
That's wild, because we've been here for 3 years almost now.
Understandably so, though.
Right.
Closes at 2 o'clock.
Closes at 2 o'clock, yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I never get when they do food drops, too.
Right.
I don't get those either.
No.
So I got to create my own. That's how it works. I was thinking about trying to get one here at some point, but then if I did it on Thursday, Matt, you wouldn't get, and then
I'd be upset.
I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Thank you. You know, Joe, you care so much about me.
I do,
and I kind of care about you too.
Sometimes, I know you do. We're gonna try something next, see how it works, and see what happens. Coming up next here on the Sports Hub.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Paisley Media Group Station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
NHL free agency opening later today. NBA free agency opened last night. We'll start with hockey, where Brad Marchand is staying in Florida. 6 years, $5.25 million per year. Vegas executing a sign and trade with Toronto for Mitch Marner. 8 years, $96 million. Celtics losing Luke Cornett to San Antonio last night, 4 years, $41 million. They did, however, add big man Luka Garza. Get excited. 2 years, $5.5 million. No word yet on Al Horford. Golden State Warriors reportedly a potential destination after Kevon Looney went to New Orleans. $16 million over 2 years. Memphis signed Jaren Jackson to a 5-year max deal, $240 million. Red Sox beat the Reds 13-6 last night at Fenway Park. Wilyer Abreu, a grand slam and an inside-the-park home run. First player since Roger Maris to accomplish that feat. He did it in 1958. Garrett Crochet took the win last night. Not his best outing of the year, but his first win of the year at Fenway Park. Sox and Reds, Game 2 of that series later tonight. It's July 1st, which means it's Bobby Bonilla Day. He collects another $1.193 million from the New York Mets today. He will do so on July 1st every year through 2035. And day 2 at Wimbledon. Coco Gauff in action this afternoon. Jess Pegula knocked out in straight sets. Headlines are brought to you by Super Service Today, Massachusetts' #1 provider for residential and commercial plumbing, heating, cooling, and drain cleaning. Day or night, always done right. Visit superservicetoday.com. I'm Matt McCarthy on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update, 30 minutes.
Listen to it, laugh at it, get mad at it, agree with it, argue about it. It is Boston Sports. Boston Sports. And it is all we do. 98.5, The Sports Hub.
Fred, what's it like to work with Hardy and Wallace?
What a golden ticket I've gotten.
There you have it. Toucher and Hardy resumes on the Sports Hub.
Oh. A lot of food.
Oh my God.
The food, the good food that I had.
Oh.
Super.
You know that sound?
It's super.
That's the sound of a man who loves himself some food.
He sure does.
It is the Toucher and Hardy radio program. No Toucher, no Hardy, no Wallach. Joe Murray's here. Matt McCarthy, Adam 12 hanging out. Joe Murray has gone downstairs. Did you know, Adam, we have food in this very building?
Yes, I don't take enough advantage of this, Matt McCarthy, and that's because, well, I do mornings now, and I'm a person, you'll appreciate this. You did mornings for how many years down the Cape?
7 years.
7 years you were a morning host.
I will never get those years back.
No, you won't. And,
No.
and it was 7 like real life years, but really more like 14, because every year you work mornings, you're losing two real life years.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, my life has been cut by at least a decade. When I drop dead at an early age, it will 100% be
that will be
that
the
job
reason
who
why.
did it. Yes.
And it will be in your obituary. It's like, well, it was those 7 years he was doing mornings on the Cape. That's what really did him in. But I'm figuring I've not been doing. I did it for a couple years as a host back in the early 2000s. It's tough. The schedule's tough. The routine is tough. But for me at least, I need to have a routine that I can make sure is the same every day. That's the definition of a routine. And for me, I can't eat early in the morning. I see Hardy in here. He's ripping through protein bars. You got Fred with his overnight oats. He seems to be off that now. But I'm in the John Wallach camp. Not touching until I have a little bit of fruit after 9 o'clock, not having anything real to eat. So I don't know how
you do that.
I can't. I'm not right now. I'm not hungry. I got a little peckish when we were talking about those Trader Joe's Takis earlier. I like those. But I think if I ate real food right now, it would make me sick.
Honestly, it's the only way I can get through mornings.
So you're eating even before you come in.
I eat before I come in. I need to eat during the show. I kind of need like a second breakfast, early lunch at about 9 o'clock. It's the only way, because I don't do coffee. It's the only way I can power through these hours.
Sure.
Thank God we have in this building, it is the absolute best thing we have going in this building. We have, I think, a really good cafeteria.
That's what they say.
Downstairs.
Yeah.
You've never tried this. Joe Murray, because he works nights, has never tried this thing.
He's never been able to because they're closed.
They close at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
I come in Felger and Maz. I get lunch from this place all the time. It is excellent. We have sent Joe Murray downstairs. Intrepid reporter Joe Murray live from the lobby of our building at the Cloud9 Cafe in Waltham. Joe, do we have you?
You are looking live at the Cloud9 Cafe in Waltham, Massachusetts. I have made it down here. It is not busy at the moment, but I wanted to show just some of the great things that are here at the Cloud9 Cafe. I am walking up
and you are
to
on
the
YouTube.
window. First off, yes, we are on YouTube. This is the menu here, everybody. Looks like they have a great variety of breakfast, sandwiches, grilled items, and of course, salads and sides. If you'd like a breakfast sandwich, a bacon, egg, and cheese, a sausage, egg, and cheese, ham, egg, and cheese, omelets, burritos, quesadillas, in on all of this. Now, as far as the sandwiches go, I see an Italiano and then a roast beef. So we do have beef on the menu, a little big tuna. What's that all about? And we got a nice little prosciutto classico. Oh, this is outstanding. We got buffalo chicken wraps, chicken bacon wrap. This is outstanding. And how about those side items, guys? Fries, nuggets, extra dressing. It's absolutely outstanding. Now, do you want to see anything, Adam? I know you've never been down here.
I got to tell you, I'm more interested in what you said that you actually didn't say yum about, and that was the salad. Because if I'm not mistaken, Joe Murray, you are not just out on a side item like a side salad or a Caesar salad. It would actually make you ill to consume. Is that correct?
Oh, I could smell lettuce off the elevator. Anybody who has it. This would be the salad bar. So, in on the fact that they do not have anything at the salad bar. But I will tell you, though.
It's 8 a.m., Joe.
Yes.
Doesn't matter. I look like this. They got a little soup container here with a little chicken noodle. And I got to tell you, these oyster crackers, those are my go-to on any chowder or soup. So absolutely in on that. But let's give you a little bit more of a look here, guys. Coming up to the, looks like they have themselves nice little salsa and chips. Here is the, well, we don't want any of that garnish. We don't need any of that stuff. But there's cheese. They got some eggs. They got tortilla wraps over there. And then if we keep moving along, there's other food, obviously some English muffins and other things of that degree. I can only imagine what's in these little hot tins right here as well. But as far as drinks, they got your coffee machines and a nice little soda machine with ice only. This looks interesting to me. It says iced coffee. So if you want an iced coffee, they got a nice array of cups. I like myself a nice large cup. But as far as breakfast sandwiches, they have it. Now, snacks, guys, because I know everybody loves snacks.
Yes.
This is what they have at 8 a.m. A nice little deli-style potato chip.
Ooh.
Right here. A simple Lay's sour cream and onion. I know that's right up your alley, Matt. I think you're a sour cream and onion guy, right?
Definitely not. Just give me the Lay's original, Joe.
I'll take the sour cream and onion.
We don't need
That's
to
me.
ruin potato chips with any flavor. Just give me the straight potato.
Well, they got the straight potato here. I'll show you what else they have for beverages in this joint as well. The beautiful Cloud9 Cafe. Here's an array of drink. Oh, you got your nice Pellegrino. I felt like that's for the high class joint.
Definitely.
But they got
Pellegrino.
Sprites, Gatorades. Yeah.
Do they have the Pellegrino
your typical snap.
sodas with the flavor, like the blood orange San Pellegrino, the limoncello San Pellegrino? They don't have those, do they?
No, this is just your typical mineral water here. Now, I will say this. I don't drink soda anymore. But they have Coca-Cola products, and they have Canada Dry Ginger Ale. It's the only way to go, guys.
Yes. Anybody who don't come at me with that Schweppes bullcrap, Joe.
That's right.
Don't you do that? Don't you? Don't.
Yep.
I know you wouldn't do that to me, Joe.
I wouldn't. And then finally, they do have some other drinks here. One orange juice remaining. So for those that are in the building,
it's been a busy
there
morning.
is one. They got a nice little Yeah, a little strawberry aloe vera, apple juice. Look at that. Look at this Martinelli. And you guys are watching, I hope, on YouTube.
Absolutely.
But there's a nice little Martinelli. And then, of course, the old Red Bull drinks, seltzers, you name it. But it is a beautiful cafe. And if I may show you, look at some of the seating arrangements at this place.
Oh, it's all
You want to get away. You want to get away from people. This is a great little place to have a nice little afternoon delight. Let me tell you.
Joe, have you walked all the way around the corner? It goes on for days. The cafe down.
Well,
there.
I'm still going. This place is huge. How come we don't have any parties down here?
Joe, I have a question. Have they listed apparently there is a lunch special of the day that Scott Zolak enjoys partaking in. Have they announced or listed or put up on the chalkboard anywhere what today's lunch of the day, or are they still in breakfast mode?
Well, let me get back to that. I just want to show you they do have a foosball table here.
Okay.
Holy smokes!
Okay. I did not know about the foosball table.
They got Jenga tables as well. Hey, this is outstanding. All right, let's get back to the chef table. No, I guess I got to go all the way. This place is huge. There's TVs down here and everything. I feel like this should be the new clubhouse, guys.
I think this is where we need to hold our post-show meeting for the rest of the week, as we go down here and have a little late breakfast, early lunch, and play some Jenga.
Yeah, so let's go look at the chef's. What does Zoe usually get? The egg salad?
Yes. If they have a plate of 12 of them, he will eat them all. No, I believe that he is. He enjoys whatever the daily lunch special will be. So maybe we can give a little sneak preview of that, or if they had posted. Joe's now going to talk.
I use this for the radio.
He's getting permission.
What is the lunch special today? Yes, we're going to find out what the lunch special. Thank you, sir. I will say this though, Chipotle chicken wrap, guys. What's all that about?
Joe, their wraps. I'm going to tell you, try the wrap. They do an
What's
outstanding.
No special today.
What?
Okay. There is no special today.
You know
guys.
what? It's the vacation week. They probably have expecting fewer people in, so I get it. But Chipotle chicken wrap. I mean, do you need a special if you have that?
Now, what is your favorite kind of bread? Are you guys a English muffin, white toast, bagel, croissant? What's your favorite?
Joe, yesterday they did a Texas toast for me on an avocado Texas toast. You should bring one up for me. Are you going to bring us back something? That's the real question.
I got a couple sandwiches. What do you guys want?
That's the answer.
What do you want?
Egg and cheese on an English, please.
Egg and cheese on an English. Yep. Matt?
Bacon, egg, and cheese, plain bagel.
2 bacon, egg, and cheeses on a plain bagel. What do the other guys want?
Could I do a bacon, egg, and cheese on an English?
Okay. Bacon, egg, and cheese on an English. Nick? Okay, Nicky.
And Nick wants one of those on a croissant.
Bacon, egg, and cheese on a croissant.
A croissant. Oh, God.
That's a Nick Janelli move right there.
God.
So we're doing all basically bacon, egg, and cheeses but Adam.
Yes.
Who is laying off the meat.
Yes.
So how many sandwiches in all? We got 3, 5, and then what does Cam want?
Intern Cam.
Oh, he just wants a bagel with cream cheese.
Okay. 5 sandwiches, 4 with bacon, 1 without. How many? What are we getting? Do you have a croissant or no? Yep, 1 croissant. 1 English. Then you guys want the rest on bagels?
Yeah. Yes. And then a bagel
and
with
the rest
cream
on
cheese.
bagels. And then just 1 bagel, cream cheese. So, English croissant. Yes.
This is
so there we go,
January
guys.
live from
There
the
you go.
Cloud9 Cafe, ordering breakfast for the entire show. What a power move!
He's a hero.
So there's 5 sandwiches, 1 without bacon, and then 1 plain bagel with cream cheese. Yeah, the man. What's your name, buddy? Eric. Eric at the Cloud9 Cafe, taking care of us today. Beautiful egg sandwiches on the way. But guys, this is something else. I'm truly impressed. They also have great electronical
payment situations with Toast. So shout out to them as well. And, guys, this has been a great journey for me. This has been a hell of an experience. And I plan on being here often. So me and Eric, we just became best friends. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Anything
Joe
else
Murray.
you guys would like to see?
No.
Would you like to see anything else, or are we good?
We've seen everything. And Joe, you got to go back for lunch.
Yes.
They give you tortilla chips on the side for lunch. They're
Matt,
so good.
The tortilla chips are right here. Look at. I don't know if you can see them.
Oh.
No, are you guys have salsa? Yeah. You got queso too, or just salsa? Just okay. Just want to make sure. All right, guys. Well, I think this was a success. I just wanted to show you some other things. They do have a nice little brie sugar gourmet cookie, which is outstanding. And then they got, of course, ketchup, mayo, mustard, and they use Heinz, which, only the best do. This is Joe Murray reporting live from the Cloud9 Cafe in Waltham, Massachusetts. I will be bringing deliveries shortly, guys.
I got to say, that was success right there. Breaking news from here in Waltham. Joe Murray just, again, an absolute power move.
Tour de force.
Yes.
From Joe Murray.
Yes.
Do you think he got all the orders right?
Listen. I'll tell you he did, and I'll tell you why. That is a guy who clearly orders a lot of food often, because he was going over that order 2 and 3 times to make sure that they got it right, and doing it in a way that was organized and polite. And I respect that. That's a guy, he goes in, he knows what he wants, he communicates it to whoever is taking his order for him, and he makes sure that they get it right.
So I got our guy Eric down there.
Yes.
He's our new friend.
Absolutely.
Bring him up here.
I just love that. I love that Joe Murray existed in this space. Joe Murray, who loves food and loves to eat, existed in this space, in this building for almost 3 years with no idea that there was this cafe downstairs. And now, look at how happy he is.
Fully functioning cafe.
Kid on Christmas Day. And all that I said earlier about not wanting to eat in the morning, I'll throw it out the window. Throw it in the trash. I can't wait to dig into that.
I'm going to tell you guys, it's a good spot.
I can't wait.
That's some fresh food down there.
Oh, so Joe's coming back with food.
Can't wait.
We'll be coming back with, we have a guest, yes?
We do. Noah Dalzell coming our way shortly to break down the Celtics. 617-779-0985. Toucher and Hardy live from Waltham, and Joe Murray live from the cafeteria. We continue.
I think he honestly is worth this deal. Like, I don't think it's an overpay by San Antonio. I think he is worth this deal when you look at what else is out there and what guys are signing for. It just wasn't going to happen in Boston. So once we saw the dollar figures, that you understand why.
Noah Dalzell on the show tomorrow, and I said, you know what? I'm going to make that happen. Joining us here on 98.5 The Sports Hub from CLNS, Celtics blog. She also covers the WNBA as well. Noah Dalzell joining us here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Noah, good morning. How are you today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
So Matt McCarthy's got me a little worried today, Noah.
Sorry about that.
I feel as though it's a one-year thing. Think we were aware of the tax implications ahead to the Celtics? I feel like it's a one-year thing where you just kind of cash out a few of your chips, and then next year they go back in on the table. Matt is trying to tell me that this could be a long-term thing. So after some of the moves last night with Luke Cornett moving on and potentially Al Horford, should Celtics fans be concerned that it could last beyond this year?
I think that's a fair concern, honestly, and I'm known for being very positive, but I do think that ultimately, the plan is probably 1 year, get some money off the books, maybe get a better draft pick than you have in a very long time because they've been so competitive for so long. But my biggest concern is that it's easy on paper to say, and then we'll sign some good players and Tatum will be back and he'll be great and we'll have Jalen and we'll have that same core. The reality though is that, that's not always how it happens. And a lot of times it's hard to replicate the connections that you had and the core that you had. And so for me, I really wanted Luke back because Luke is somebody that plays really well with Jason Tatum. And now you lost another kind of core piece from that, this last couple of years of Celtics basketball. So there are definitely some concerns.
Noah, what's next? Are they done stripping down this roster? They haven't traded Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum yet, but obviously it's a very different role player situation for the Celtics. What's coming in these next few days?
Yeah, I think so. Al Horford's probably going to make a decision in the next day or two here. Latest reporting signals that the Warriors are a good, potential front runner to acquire him. I'm leaning against him coming back to Boston, just seeing the way things have shaken up here over the last few days. But what's remarkable is that if you look at the Celtics spending right now, they're still just a little bit below the second apron. So it's not like they're, now all of a sudden in a great financial situation. I think they're going to get even further below the second apron, maybe out of the first apron as well. And so guys I'm keeping my eye on, Anthony Simons, who they just acquired, is he ever going to be introduced as a Celtic? That would be on July 6th. I think there's a good chance that they flip him before that and save even more money, maybe get a backup big because they might need some additional support in the front court. Georges Niang, I don't know that they actually wanted him necessarily on the roster, if it was just a way to get Porzingis off the book. So I think those two guys are potentials. And then obviously I think Sam Hauser's name has been floating around a little bit as well. But ultimately, I think it's the beginning of more moves. A lot of people have been floating what the Celtics roster looks like right now. The roster today, I don't think is what the roster in October is going to be, but that also could be a bad thing. We could see which direction it would go.
No, Luka Garza was probably the best player ever at Iowa before Caitlin Clark got there. Has had a 4-year run in the NBA, and it's been bad. Now, in his defense, last year, there were a bunch of guys behind him, or in front of him, right? Naz Reid, Gobert. There's been a lot of guys there. This move, to me, doesn't excite me, but can you try to at least entertain that the Luka Garza move might be something that Brad Stevens is taking a flyer on and with more time? Obviously, he was a great college player, but yeah. I am not excited about this move at all.
I appreciate the honesty. I don't know that I was overly excited either. We were on a live stream, and it was Luke Cornett gone, Luka Garza 5 minutes later. I was give us 10 minutes. We need a little bit of time to grieve here. I think the optimist's view would be 26 years old, bouncing around the league, hasn't been able to figure it out. I know a guy that was in that position. That was Luke Cornett 4 years ago, right? A lot can happen. A lot can happen in a few years. And the Celtics are really good at developing players. They have a great G League program. I love the main Celtics, and I love kind of the connection between the two clubs. Luka Garza is probably not going to spend much time in the G League. They really need a guy in the front court, but they're probably going to sign a couple of these guys on minimum deals where you're taking a flyer. There's some ceiling there. Obviously, as you mentioned, he was a great college player. At his best, he can shoot. He hasn't quite been able to do that at a high clip in the NBA, but I don't know that fans should rest their future title hopes on that signing, but it just kind of shows you the direction they're going in of like, there are a lot of potentially good NBA players that just haven't been in the right position, haven't had the right opportunities. He'll get thrown into the Celtics system. Can he be that connective piece on offense, that quick passer? One of the things that people underrate, I think, about both Al Horford and Luke Kornet is just how much those guys are more than just the stats that they put up. They're really connectors. Like, that's the role they've played for this team offensively. And so can he do that? I don't know. But that's what they're going to try to figure out, so that when Tatum comes back, they have a couple of low, cheap options that can kind of fit into that system.
No, what is next for the Celtics in the front court? Are they adding players over the course of the next few days here? Is that tied into, maybe a Simons trade? What's going on here? It can't possibly be this, right?
I would imagine that they get at least another big. I don't know that it's going to be a name that's going to excite you guys any more than the Luka Garza addition.
Great, thanks.
Yeah, just trying to keep expectations realistic. But Neemias Queta, who I think fans were really excited about a year ago, and then kind of fell out of the rotation. I do think they're kind of banking a little bit on his development and seeing where he can go. There's some promise with him. He's also made a lot of mistakes that they just couldn't afford to play through, or at least they concluded they couldn't afford to play through when you're contending for a championship. Next year, I think he's going to get a much bigger opportunity. So people that have been clamoring to see more Neemias Queta minutes, you're definitely going to get that. But they're probably going to add one more guy. And again, I don't think Al Horford's a definite no, and I actually think that it would be great to have him back, even though next year's obviously not prioritizing winning, but he's another name you could potentially have. And if he comes back, like, that's your starting center. But right now, it does seem like Neemias Queta is going to be a big part of the future, and probably one or two more minimum guys that they're going to figure out here over the next couple days.
No, should the Celtics prioritize protecting Jaylen Brown and Derek White, meaning maybe they don't play back-to-backs on the road, or just prioritize them a little bit more. I'm calling this a gap year. I'm not excited about it. I loved when they've been competitive for 8 years. They've been chasing championships for 8 years. So do you think that Jaylen Brown's going to play and be the number one, or are they going to prioritize protecting him?
Probably somewhere in the middle. I mean, I do think he's going to be the number one. I know Jaylen Brown. He's extremely competitive. I think that he is going to want to capitalize on the opportunity to be that number one guy that he's never really been in Boston. At the same time, he is coming off a knee injury that can sometimes have long-term ramifications if you look at various players and their partially torn meniscus. And I think that there's no reason to be concerned about him right now, but I'm sure they're going to play it safe with him, with Derek White, who has a ton of miles over the last few years. So somewhere in the middle of, like, those guys are competitors. They're not just going to sit out games. You couldn't get Jaylen Brown to sit out March basketball games when he was in knee pain ahead of the playoffs. So it's going to be hard to get him to just be like, okay, I'm just going to be sidelined. But if he's dealing with a little something, I think this year the approach is going to be even more conservative than it has been in years past. The way that you saw with, like, Porzingis and Al, who just don't play back-to-backs in Boston or haven't played. You might see a little bit of that here too.
No, I know you do a lot of WNBA coverage. You're one of the authorities on the WNBA in this market. Why was Boston not a part of the expansion yesterday? It's the biggest day of expansion in the history of the league. Why is Boston not a WNBA city at this point?
So the most succinct answer is they didn't put in a bid. There were a lot of cities that were really eager to get a bid that did not get one. Houston was at the top of the list. I think the Houston bid was very disappointed that they did not get a team. Cleveland, Philadelphia, Detroit, those are the three cities that now are going to have WNBA teams by 2030. We have a team here in New England, the Connecticut Sun. They're about an hour and a half away. Their games are on NBC Sports Boston. Like, they're the local team here. I don't think they've been embraced by Celtics fans because they're not in Boston. And honestly, right now, they're also one of the worst teams in the league. But they're up for sale. So I think the pathway for the Celtics to get a team, for Boston to get a team, to have like a brother or sister team for the Celtics, it would be if this team is sold. And I haven't heard anything specifically about whether Bill Chisholm and the new ownership group was interested in purchasing that team or someone else. I know Michael Carter-Williams was involved in trying to bring a team here to Boston. So I spoke to him, like, they're interested in any pathway to get it done. But you're not going to have a team in Connecticut and in Boston, I don't think, for a league that's still right now 13 teams. So that's the solution there. And unfortunately, I'm really, really hopeful because I would love to see a team in Boston, especially right now. I think we need some good news here for Boston sports fans.
Well, they were here last year, and it was a big hit, certainly in the area at the Garden. If I was Steve Pagliuca, I look at that and then buy a stadium and then have the Celtics be, you be the landlord for the Celtics. That would be awesome. By the way, real quick, Noah, on Caitlin Clark quickly. All right, so the NBA players voted Tyrese Halliburton the most overrated player in the league. Well, the WNBA players voted Caitlin Clark the 9th best guard in the WNBA. Your thoughts on those player rankings for Caitlin Clark?
Yeah, I was really surprised. I had a ballot for All-Star, and I got to vote for 4 guards, and she was one of the 4. And she's had a really tough season. I don't know how much people have been paying attention to the exact numbers. She's shooting below 30% from 3 and turning the ball over like 5.6 times a game. She's missed a bunch of times with injuries, 2 different things, hamstring and groin. So I think I would imagine that the interpretation of that vote is less of a reflection of her actually being the 9th best guard, but more that she's had the 9th best guard season so far in the first month or so of the season. So that would be like my non-controversial interpretation is that like it's probably just a reflection of the fact that she's struggled and other guards have had better seasons. Like Paige Beckers, who I think was ranked 4th in that poll, has had a really easy transition to the pros and has been more efficient and whatnot. So that might be what it is. I also think sometimes players aren't the best gauges of things. Like I used to always think, okay, well, like the media gets a vote, the coaches get a vote, the fans get a vote, but the players, they're the ones that really know what they're talking about because they're out there. And then you see former players go on TV and say crazy things on SportsCenter and ESPN. And so I think my view has evolved a little bit that sometimes you have your own personal biases and your own things that maybe don't make you the best, most unbiased judge. So that's why you have a mixture of fans, coaches, players, all kind of determining who's going to be an all-star. But she's still the overall vote getter and will be one of the 2 all-star captains. So it didn't actually impact her ability to have that position in the all-star game.
Well, one of the only reasons why anybody mentioned Luka Garza was because Caitlin Clark became better than him. So that's really the only reason why we Hey, by the way, what do you think happens with LeBron James in LA?
I don't know. It's such weird stuff coming out of his camp of like he did opt into the player option, but their timeline. I don't get why it seems like what the Lakers are doing is trying to clear space to be able to sign somebody in 2027, which to me it's like you have Luka and LeBron right now. Like try to win right now. You never know what's going to happen in 2027. You never know who's going to be healthy. Like if there's one thing this league has shown me is that capitalize on the moment. So it sounds like he wants this roster to be better, and I don't know if they're going to be able to acquire a center. It sounds like DeAndre Ayton is someone that's been linked to LA. I would not hinge my championship chances on him. So he probably still finishes out his career as a Laker, but it seems like a trade or him not doing that is on the table now, which is kind of astounding.
All right, it's Noah Dalzell. You can check out her work. CLNS, Celtics blog, covers the WNBA as well. I was watching the Garden Report last night. You guys have everything covered. And what else am I missing here, Noah? Anything else to plug you?
No, I think that's the main of it. Thanks so much for having me.
You got it. Excellent job, Noah. Thank you so much. It's Noah Dalzell. Check out her work. CLNS, Celtics blog. And I love that Pags take. He should buy the Connecticut Sun, then bring it to Boston with a new team, buy a stadium, and say, hey, Celtics, pay me. I think that's a good take.
No, I mean, building stadiums, very easy thing to do in Boston, Joe.
Yeah, and quick, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks, Noah. I know you said you've been hearing Noah.
She's great.
Bringing her to the mornings. Don't take her, though.
No.
Have her at night.
No.
You can. Everybody's open.
Thank you. But no, we would not poach. We have our own stable. We'll have actually Brian Robb will be stopping by tomorrow morning.
That's right.
I'm sure we'll have more to talk about tomorrow.
That is right. What are we doing next?
We haven't decided yet.
Guess what? We're gonna eat.
The
Cloud9 bagels and
English
muffins has arrived. We'll do that after the headline here on 98.5 The Sports.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
NBA free agency open. Luke Cornett out. Set into San Antonio, 4 years, $41 million. Celtics signed big man Luka Garza yesterday, 2 years, $5.5 million. No official word yet on Al Horford. Golden State Warriors reportedly a potential destination. Memphis signing Jaren Jackson to a 5-year max deal, $240 million. Brad Marchand getting paid over a long period of time. He stays in Florida, 6 years, $5.25 million. Vegas executed a sign and trade with Toronto for Mitch Marner yesterday, 8 years, $96 million. NHL free agency opening at noon today. Red Sox beat the Reds 13-6 last night at Fenway. Willie Abreu with an inside-the-park home run and a grand slam. First player to do that in the same game since Roger Maris in 1958. That was a long time ago. Bobby Bonilla set to collect another $1.193 million from the New York Mets today. He will do so every July 1st through the year 2035. Coco Gauff in action day 2 at Wimbledon later on today. Headlines are brought to you by Celsius Energy Drinks, refresher energy with zero sugar, essential vitamins, and proven ingredients. I'm Matt McCarthy on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update, 30 minutes.
More.
had many offers to become an insider.
Cooking soul.
Good morning. Good morning. It's the Toucher and Hardy Show featuring Joe Murray, Matt McCarthy, Adam 12, Ryan Beaton, Nick Gemelli, and Cam the intern.
I like this music that Beaton has chosen. What is this, Ryan Beaton?
This is Cookin' Soul, a Spanish DJ rapper duo, I believe.
Fantastic.
Speaking of soul,
whoo, baby.
Breakfast sandwiches, Joe. They have some soul.
All right, I just did a review on TikTok.
Oh, did you?
I have sent it to Ryan Beaton if he needs to play it. But when you guys ever watch influencers? By the way, the influencers are killing us.
I mean, you can't. Yeah. I mean, you can't avoid them. Like, of course we watch
but
them. They're everywhere.
They're killing us, though.
Oh, sure.
We're endorsers. We're
Yes.
ambassadors, right?
Yeah.
They get paid to hey, come out to my shop. They'll do a video, get paid a bunch, and it's turn and burn.
Right.
No offense. You work with me or Adam or Matt, we're partners for life.
That's right. It's a different approach. It's a different approach.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
Influencers are turning quick. No offense to any. Shout out to all the influencers. You're killing me. I like to just grab the food, show it, eat, and react.
Joe, the difference is this. With influencers, the focus is always on the influencer. With us, the focus is always on the product or service. That's the difference. That's the difference.
Sound like you've been in management before. You know,
corporate 12 over
did
here.
Did I get a little corporate speak on that? But I mean, it's accurate, right?
It's true. For real, the Stack, for example, on this show, is not sponsored.
Right.
Imagine every day at a certain time, you know that your message is going to be presented by the likes of top personalities in Boston sports.
And reach an audience that is an active audience that you're looking to reach with your message and your product.
An audience that is not just on the radio, but digitally. Tap that app; it's worldwide, baby.
Yep.
YouTube, it's there.
All those shows are still there.
Anyways, that was a flex.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the food?
Oh, really good. What did I tell you guys? Joe, have I ever led you astray?
Matt, remember that before Mike's wedding, you said let's go to
Paisanos.
And how was it?
Outstanding.
Wasn't it a hit?
It was. A hit with
everybody loved it. The seats were like catcher's mitts. We were pigs and crap.
That was the time.
We were loving it. Right? Remember the bartenders were chirping us up?
Yep.
What's this Paisanos? Where is it?
It's a spot in Kingston.
Okay.
We had an hour and a half to kill between Sarge's wedding, the actual ceremony, and the reception.
Yep.
Me, being from the area, I said, guys, just trust me on this one.
And other people were, I'm not going to say the name of the other place that people were mentioning.
They were going to another spot, and I said,
but
no.
You didn't lead us astray. Is that the word?
I said, that would be fine, but there are going to be a whole bunch of people there. We got to go to this spot.
What's Paisanos about?
It's just an Italian joint.
Yeah, just a good Italian,
just
good
a
solid Italian.
South Shore Italian joint.
Love it.
Charcuterie board was very good.
Oh, okay.
Had a nice little gabagool in there.
Nice.
The eggplant parm was phenomenal.
I like a good.
I could do this all day.
Joey in Kingston called in this weekend specifically about it.
He emailed me about it. Ryan Beaton back there. I see you eating your sandwich.
It's very good.
Any other adjectives for it?
Soulful.
Soulful, yes.
I agree. It is soulful.
I ate mine fast. It was good, and I'll go back again.
There you go.
I get that place all the time. I usually get after the show.
No, Eric, I've made friends. We just became best friends.
Yeah, you guys are buddies now.
And I told him Cam's going to come down. He said, no problem at all. I did ask if we could use this for the radio.
Yeah,
and we did.
You did. We were applauding your professionalism as you were streaming live and still making sure that you checked that box.
So I rated the Cloud9. I don't know if you have to do that. Do you have to rate everything these days?
I don't think you do.
I don't rate any. I don't think I've ever submitted a review or a rating for anything.
I think rating, with the conversation we're having right now, I think rating almost takes away. No, you don't need a rating. If I tell you it's good, that's good enough. You don't need me to tell you where it is. I can be descriptive with my rating. I can tell you why it's good, or I can tell you if it's a food joint, the menu items I enjoy. But again, going back to differentiating between influencers and endorsers. If I'm endorsing a product or a service,
I mean it.
I mean it, and you can trust me. You can trust me that I'm going to steer you the right way.
Joe, when I've said this is a good spot, you should try it, have I ever led you astray on anything like that? Do I need to say anything more?
No, but I know what I do think you need to let the audience know.
What?
What happened at the church for Mike's wedding with you?
I heard from a little birdie that the wedding was a 2:30 invite time ceremony.
Okay.
But really it was about a 3 o'clock kickoff. Little birdie sitting across the room there said, Matt, listen, just going to let you know something.
Okay.
Full Catholic Mass.
And by the way, I went to 12 years of Catholic school. I know how that rolls.
McCarthy over here. All right. So Joe says, I just want you to know what you're getting into. I said, okay, thank you very much. 2:30 invite time, 3 o'clock. Because 2:30 invite time, I'm showing up at 2:10, no later than that
same.
for a wedding.
Yeah.
You cannot be that guy who walks in during the ceremony. It's one weddings, funerals, basically, and radio. The only things in life that I'm not willing to be late for. So I say, all right, I'm going to show up at 2:30. Just to be safe, just in case we kick this thing at 2:40, and Joe's wrong. Because, Joe, I love you. You're one of the best insiders out there, but sometimes things can be just a little bit.
Things can go awry.
Things can go awry. I can't find my shirt. Didn't do that thing the night before. I'm like, where is my... So I had to figure something else out. I get delayed at the house 10 minutes.
Okay.
Hit a little traffic getting down there. I get there at 2:40. I'm texting Joe. I'm saying, Joe, we're good here, right? I said, yeah, we're good. It's 2:45, 2:50. I'm like, okay. I get there. I pull into the church. There's a bagpiper playing outside. I'm like, oh, no. Oh, no. I'm late to this thing.
Oh, my goodness.
I pull around the back of the church.
Yeah.
Driveway on one side of the church, driveway on the other side of the church. I pull around the back where there's parking. No parking.
No, because everybody's there already.
Correct. Everybody has showed up on time except for me. It's North Plymouth. I know the parking scene there. I know where I'm going to have to park. It's not anywhere near the church. I'm pulling out to exit out, to go back out onto the street, to go to the street parking, and there I see it. There are two painted spaces with trucks. Behind one of the trucks, I drive a smaller car. I'm saying I can totally pull in along the right side of this driveway. No problem. The space isn't lined, but I'm not going to block anybody. Anybody is going to be able to get behind me to the left if they need to get down the driveway.
Sure.
No issues. I go inside. I'm texting Joe. I'm like, hey, where are you? It's like, I'm not here yet. Okay, good. 300 people in this thing.
300
people.
Wow. Think of how many cars that is.
That's a lot of cars.
Yeah.
So I go, I sit down.
I'm not a bad guy.
I don't know anybody at this thing. I'm texting Joe, where are you? Where are you? I'm not here. So I sit down. Fine, whatever. At least I'm here in time. 5 minutes later, the music stops. Great, here we go. We're ready to start this thing. I'm like, boy, Joe Murray, what a jackass. He's going to be late to this thing. Somebody gets up. Would the person with the blue Mazda please move your car?
And who do I see when I walk in?
Joe Murray's walking in. I'm walking out. Joe says, where are you going? I say, I've got the blue Mazda, Joe.
And I knew the blue Mazda because I had to go around it because it was taking
the
up
blue
the park.
Mazda blocking you, Joe?
No. In Matt's defense,
yeah,
it wasn't blocking me. It was blocking the wedding party's bus.
Oh, okay. Well, wait.
Long story short here is Matt found a good parking spot. It was convenient for him and everybody else.
And
it's just not the wedding party.
It's not for the guy getting married.
No, no. So you have two moves in that scenario, 12. You either A, get up, hand up, be like, yep, that's me.
Right.
Or B, you look around and say, who's the jackass driving the blue Mazda? Because anybody can get behind me, right? So I'm muttering under my breath as I walk out of the church. Last name McCarthy. I'm blaming the Catholics. Like some Catholic stickler has a problem with me not parking in a space. Who the hell am I blocking? Joe Murray just got his car behind me. Sure enough, the big-ass bus with the full wedding party, of whom I know nobody. Bride, never met before. Bridesmaids, never met before. So I got bridesmaids standing out by my car. Like, who is this guy?
Just staring at you.
Hi, I'm Matt. Mike invited me.
Yeah.
They were great. They were chill with it. But yeah, I if you're going to a wedding this weekend, I do not recommend you do that.
The parking sitch was...
Where did you were there later than he was. Where did you park?
Street parking.
Street parking, baby. I did a couple of laps.
Yeah, sometimes you got to do that.
And then I said, this looks good.
You know what you could?
I did too.
You could have used the Toucher and Hardy show's proprietary artificial intelligence, Sarge GPT. If you would ask
Fried
Sarge
rice
GPT,
and egg rolls.
That's right. If you would ask Sarge GPT ahead of time about the parking, I'm sure that Sarge GPT could have given you some
overconfidence. I'm from the Plymouth area.
Ah, there you go.
I knew what the parking situation was going to be. I knew exactly where I was going to have to go to find parking when there was no parking at the church, which is why I parked behind the True Trucks, because I said, I know where I need to go, and it's going to be 5 minutes for me to go down there and walk back to this thing. And when I hear the bagpiper, when the bagpiper's going, you're like, this thing's starting. We're good, so I got to get inside.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be able to get by me. True. Unless you drive a bus. Not great.
Yes.
In on the food.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's right.
A long way of us saying in. All right. Well, we're going to talk about beef coming up here on the other side. Maybe not the beef that you all think about. We'll do that next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports fan, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
NHL free agency opens about 3 hours from now, and the big news from last night, Brad Marchand staying in Florida, 6 years, $5.25 million per year. Mitch Marner traded to Vegas, where he will sign an 8-year, $96 million contract extension. NBA free agency opened last night. Luke Cornett heads to San Antonio, 4-year deal worth $41 million. Al Horford still waiting on word about his future today. Golden State Warriors reportedly a potential destination. Celtics added big man Luka Garza last night, 2 years, $5.5 million. Memphis signing Jaren Jackson Jr. to a 5-year max deal, $240 million. Michael Porter Jr. traded from the Nuggets to the Nets, along with the first-round pick for Cam Johnson. Red Sox beat the Reds 13-6 last night at Fenway. Wilyer Abreu, a grand slam and an inside-the-park home run in the game. First player to do that since Roger Maris in 1958. Day 2 at Wimbledon today. Coco Gauff in action this afternoon. Headlines are brought to you by Gem Plumbing. Cooling, installs, and 24/7 service. Go to AskGem.com. I'm Matt McCarthy on Boston's Home for Sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update, 30 minutes.
Here we go. Boom. I win. Kaboom. Yeah. Hit somebody.
We've got a passion for Boston sports.
Get angry.
98.5 The Sports Hub. What's the best way to listen to Toucher and Hardy?
Well, you're going to have to spend $40.
Cough it up, and let's get back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Sports Hub. I almost wrapped that thing.
You should have. Why didn't you? Why'd you stop there?
Okay. There are people that want to talk to us, guys, but I want to just knock this out quickly.
Go.
So, The Ringer came out with the biggest beefs of the 2000s. Battles, meaning.
Not North Shore three-way.
Correct.
That's a topic for later this week, I think.
Yes.
Thursday.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good Thursday topic.
Yeah, okay.
So, because I have
Look at
two...
you writing that down there, 12.
I will,
producer.
To give 12 a shout-out. You were working down the hall, managing, announcing, producing probably as well.
Yeah.
And then you have now come to this side of the business.
Yes.
And you are very, very, very transparent, organized, collaborative.
I try to be those things. Thank you.
And you let talented people be talented.
That's the name of the game.
Boy, you're in the wrong business.
No, for real.
Thank you.
You are a breath of fresh air, sir.
Thank you.
So I'll stop kissing your ass now.
No, it's game recognized game. You know, I've been a big fan of yours for a long time.
Well, thank you.
So it's been a pleasure, and yours as well, Matt. It's been great to sit in the studio with you guys and have some conversations and entertain some people. Hopefully.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Beefs.
Not
We
those.
got our beefs, bro.
Not those beefs.
Nope.
Not onion rings, French fries, and beefs.
Yep. None of that.
But beefs, like I got beef.
Like, to give you a few examples, I got some specifically for you guys.
Okay, and we're talking best beefs of the 2000s.
Yeah. So, like, not to go political, but Musk, Trump stuff.
Sure.
That could be one, just to give you an idea.
Yeah.
Like,
You're talking sports beefs?
Yes. Now, Boston sports related.
Okay.
I think Yankees Red Sox of the 2000s was great.
Oh, yeah. 03, 04.
Absolutely.
Good beef.
I think Kraft and Bill is a great beef.
Oh, that is a good one, yeah.
Okay.
Bill and Brady.
Aqib Talib and Michael Crabtree's chain was a very good, nice little beef, right?
Who made this list, by the way? Where does it come from?
This is from The Ringer.
Okay.
Okay.
That's right. You said that.
That's fine.
Wasn't that Richard Sherman in the chain? Wasn't it Aqib Talib and Steve Smith?
Yeah, and it was another one. He told him to ice up, son.
Oh, right.
That was the ice up, son. But this one's for you, Matt, because there's a lot here, but a lot of people have beef with Taylor Swift.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, isn't it?
May I admit that I'm a Swiftie? Not in the Swiftie sense of I listen to her music and no, she is talented. She's good. I respect what she does. Everyone's a hater. They really are.
The hater's going to hate.
And I get it. Like, she's not a sex symbol, but she's a great role model. She writes her own music. She's talented. She can be creative. I'll save you because I got Pete. There's already haters talking to me. But what's her biggest beef? Because I've written down 4. I have Kanye.
Yep.
Jake Gyllenhaal?
Sure.
Is it Carly Cross?
I don't know who that is, but I'm sure she has beef with her.
Scooter Braun?
Definitely big beef with Scooter Braun. Yes, Joe.
Katy Perry?
Yeah, beef there.
So, like, she's got beef. Everyone's got beef with Taylor Swift.
Right. She's the bad roommate in this scenario. So, I mean, I would say Taylor Swift is akin to Tom Brady. You know, she makes enemies just to feast on their souls. And Brady did the exact same thing. She is the Tom Brady of music. And she needs that to fuel her deal with the devil.
Do you guys know my Taylor Swift Swifties story?
No.
Would you like to hear it?
I would love to hear that.
Okay. So Taylor Swift was the musical guest on SNL in, I believe it was November of 2021, and I'm a big SNL guy. Fred Toucher and I, huge SNL fans. He's more of a historian than I am. He knows more than I do.
I love the Domingo, by the way.
The Domingo bit's great, fantastic.
Awesome.
And I've also been a fan of the last 5 years. I like a lot of people. You had to find something to do during the pandemic, right? So I kind of got back into SNL. Went back and watched a lot of eras that I had missed out on because I'd stopped watching, and started watching the current iteration of the show. And I like a lot of the young talent that's on the cast now. Love Marcello. Sarah Squirm is my favorite thing going in comedy right now. She's fantastic. So here it is. It's a Saturday night. I'm up. I'm watching it live.
Yep.
And Taylor Swift comes on.
All Too Well 10-minute version?
That's you see where I'm going with this. Now, to be fair, this is pandemic era. Had a few things to drink, had a few beers. Wasn't like 3 sheets to the wind or anything, but was, feeling a little bit, feeling it, a little spicy. And everything that Joe said about Taylor Swift, I, for the most part, agree with. I'm not a fan of her music, but you can't knock her legacy and her hustle and her talent. She has all of those things. But I'm sitting there watching SNL. And this song won't stop. And it just won't. And I'm already not really interested in watching it. So I decided to tweet about it. And,
that was not going to go over well, especially in that time.
And it's funny, too. I didn't even really say anything that was... Again, I wasn't like a hater. I wasn't really trolling. I was just like...
But you were.
I was. But... This is going on too long. Like, what is this? It's self-indulgent. I think I drew the analogy of she's the kid at the talent show that just tried too hard. It's like, yeah, we know you have the talent. Just take it easy. You don't need to be doing this 10-minute long nonsense. Fired off a couple of tweets, watched the rest of SNL, went to bed. Woke up the next morning.
Yeah. Good luck.
First thing I saw wasn't that my Twitter had blown up with Swifties. It was that Swifties had tried to hack my Twitter because I had a bunch of Gmail notifications saying, you trying to change your password? Are you trying to log in from another device? What's going on here? This is not. And that was what tipped me off. I'm like, what is going on with this? And then I got onto Twitter, and yes, it's the Swifties, the Beehive. Those are the two places you don't want to piss off online. You don't want to go there. It was bad. It was really bad.
I bow down to my fellow Swifties because you don't want to mess with
a lot
them.
of death threats.
No, yeah, I mean, rightfully
a lot of
so.
KYS.
You know what? Honestly, Adam, rightfully so. Oh. How dare you? How dare you criticize a masterpiece like the 10-minute version of All Too Well?
Just insufferable.
I knew it all too
6 minutes
well.
too long.
So I didn't know which one
wasn't long enough.
Which was the biggest Taylor Swift beef? I don't know if there's been one yet.
It's every single one of them.
Okay,
it's the next one. Really, it's Tom Brady. What's your favorite beef? The next one.
The
next one.
I like that. Adam.
Yeah.
I brought up a couple of musical beefs.
Yes.
Okay. Let's start off Cardi and Nicki Minaj.
Yes, that's a big one.
Kendrick Lamar and Drake.
Yes, that's
all-timer.
And it's kind of still happening. I mean,
right.
I still can't get over like they booked him to play the halftime show, and of course he went there.
Have you taught Alex Barth the A minor?
Well, we're working on A minor.
A minor,
great chord,
sneaky, easier to play than an A major.
Agreed.
Really?
You know what?
Yeah,
that's a good take.
Yeah.
Redemption coming off your Taylor Swift take. Well done. Well done, 12.
How about Will Smith, Chris Rock?
Oh, yes. Wow, Will Smith. We've been playing a lot of that new Will Smith album on the show, and it's not good. And he is spiraling.
I watched Bad Boys 3 this weekend.
Okay.
Not impressed.
No?
It was bad.
Yeah.
How about Liam and Noel Gallagher?
That's the one I was going to mention. I mean, although they're playing, they finally, hell froze over. The other shoe dropped, and here they are, Oasis playing reunion tour dates. So Maybe the beef is. Would you say the beef has gotten? No, I wouldn't say it gotten warmer. Because beef has cooled
The
off.
beef has gotten wealthier.
Yes, that's right. Exactly.
Burn your
You know they're getting
bridges,
paid.
build them back with wealth.
Yeah.
Which brings me next to Metallica and Napster.
Yes.
Thinking back on it, I still think Metallica was right.
Oh, they were, but they just handled it wrong. And then all the fallout that came out after that of, like record labels going after your grandma because, she didn't know she downloaded songs. That was look, the music industry never recovered from that. I mean, that was a tipping point, and they couldn't have handled that worse, and that's kind of what got us to where we are now.
And Dave Matthews, I did it. He downloaded it.
I was gonna. Oh, you was gonna. The Dave Matthews
Did he have a beef?
The Dave Matthews beef was with what was the river in Chicago?
Yeah, I was going to say, actually, I think it's more the city of Chicago's
Yes, has beef with
Dave
Dave Matthews for emptying the porta potties on his tour bus
Oh,
directly into
we
the
don't
river
like
there
that.
and onto the tour boat. That's a great story.
So there's a few more beefs. I'll just give you their top 5. Number 1 was Kanye and Taylor. Number 2 was the Red Sox Yankees.
That's great.
3 was Solange and Jay-Z.
Oh yeah, Solange Knowles and Jay-Z.
Yep,
with the,
Solange.
yeah, okay, yep, okay.
Dwayne Johnson, Vin Diesel. Which
I didn't know there was a beef.
Oh, there was.
Don't know, don't care.
True. Kendrick and Lamar. Jennifer Lopez, Mariah Carey.
I didn't know there was a beef there either.
Was it a? Oh, it was probably a Diddy.
Derek Jeter.
Okay, we got the Gallaghers already.
The Fruit Basket.
Scooter Braun, Kobe Bryant, Shaq.
I was gonna. That's a good one. Classic.
Here's a
but
great.
but they smoothed it over.
Here's a great one. Kim Cattrall and Sarah Jessica Parker.
Oh, from Sex and the City.
By the way, for those, Sex and the City is one of the greatest shows. If you've never watched it, it really is a fantastic show. But the reason why I respect Kim Cattrall here is she feels that she should make the same amount of money as Sarah Jessica Parker, and I agree.
I agree as well. Why wouldn't she?
Wasn't the cast more ensemble than anything?
Yeah. I'm not an expert, but
because if you ask a woman,
it certainly seemed that way.
What character are you? Are you a Charlotte? Are you you know what I mean? Like that's a thing.
Yeah.
I do think that they're all the same and should make the same amount of money.
Kim Cattrall, before Sex and the City, was in plenty of great films. Mannequin, not a great film, but was in that one.
Yeah.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Yep, saw that.
John Carpenter film, an all-timer. Kurt Russell.
Just some other beefs that are on it. Kevin Durant versus Twitter. Nas versus Jay-Z. Ooh, Spencer and Heidi Pratt versus Lauren. Okay. Again, that was my kind of heyday. 50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather.
The Kevin Durant versus Twitter is just, again, it's unforced error after unforced error. Just stay offline, please. You don't need to do that.
So that's all I have, guys.
Good beefs, though.
We got a couple of people in here.
Yeah.
Chris is in the car. Hey, Chris.
Shout out to YouTube fam. We had a friendly debate earlier. I want to know who is the more hateable character in The Sopranos, AJ the last 2 seasons, or Janice Soprano?
Janice.
Is that
your answer?
Was that overwhelming? Janice was awful. She dated Ricky April. Oh, what a real just low life.
They buried him on a hill overlooking a river, Joe.
That's right. And then she took the house, and then remember the whole. Tony had his own issues with the Russian family.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Not great. Not great.
Janice though,
out,
hard out.
The worst.
AJ just was confused. His dad was a mobster.
Yep.
His mom babied him. His car blew up because he tried getting laid in the car on leaves.
Parked it on the leaves.
Like his cousin. Oh God, there's a lot of things going on.
I'm not as bothered by AJ.
Me either.
And many people are. I'll never. Somebody said this to me after watching The Sopranos. Said I wish those weights were a little bit heavier. Which is just not what. But that's how people feel about AJ.
Yeah.
And I don't feel that.
Well, listen, the pool had a lot of symbolism. Remember the ducks and the bear? The ducks.
The ducks.
Yeah. Joey's in Kingston. Hello, Joey.
Hey.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Enjoying the past couple of mornings.
Thank you.
I'm going to go to some way back beefs, if you don't mind. When I was a kid. Number 1, Stan Jonathan versus Larry Robinson. Probably one of the most epic fights you could ever see on ice. In the Bruins, going into the Rangers against the Rangers fans in '79. And Joe, you just mentioned it. On the list is the Sox versus the Yankees. But as a kid, never forget Thurman Munson and Carlton Fisk going at it. Mm-hmm. So some great ones.
Thanks, Joey. That was me. I dropped him. But he's Paisanos.
That's
as he should be.
The Fisk and Munson is classic.
Was Kim Cattrall in Porky's?
Look that up. Good question.
It was always again, I was born in 1982, so
yep.
A lot of the stuff from the 80s sometimes.
Yes, she played Honeywell.
There we go.
Miss Honeywell, the PE teacher.
Mm-hmm. I just remember things from my childhood.
Yeah.
And Sarah Jessica Parker married Matthew Broderick?
That's correct.
Who was Ferris Bueller.
Yes.
Do you have something for us, Ryan? I feel like you wanted to talk.
I believe the Vin Diesel rock beef was in the Fast and the Furious movies. They both had written into their contract. They didn't like each other. They both had written into their contract that if they were to fight in a scene, that neither one of them could beat the other one.
Wow. Imagine caring enough.
That's good beef.
It's called creative control, everybody.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
All right, well, we got the email bit coming up in the stack here till 10 o'clock. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy.
You know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
No idea what you're talking about.
Here's more of The Thing on the Sports Hub.
Come here. I want to show you something. He pulled up that video on YouTube. He's like, this is cool.
Formative moment right there.
Never forget it so long as I live.
Yep.
The great Ken McCarthy.
All right.
Well, this was supposed to be the email bit. By the way, is there a band with more issues, more controversy than Fleetwood Mac?
No.
Because you've had over the course of the history of rock and popular music, you've had groups that have had a couple in them, a romantic or involvement. Mm-hmm. They had two of those. I don't know that there's many other examples of that. And when that's in the mix, and especially in the era it was in as well, the 70s and 80s and all the drug use and that was a recipe for drama.
Mick Fleetwood said recently that he thinks he spent over $1 million on cocaine.
I believe it.
Only $1 million? Those guys?
That.
It's a hell of a drug.
Yep.
From what I've heard. I would like to bring in JP from North Providence. You guys might know him. Calls in at night. I think he does as well in the morning show. JP, hello, sir.
Joe, can we do a night call in the morning? We can do a Friday night call this morning for the holiday.
Let's do it.
First of all, Joe, I love you, but Stevie Nicks, to my generation, is like nails on a chalkboard. I'm out on Fleetwood Mac, but Joe, Rossetti's last Saturday night, the best filet mignon I've ever had. It brought tears to my eyes, Joe. Not when I was eating it, but when she ordered it and I got the check, it was $68. Can we do a GoFundMe for next weekend's dinner?
That's why they call it Beverly Farms.
Oh, my God, Joe. It was delicious, but from now on, we're splitting the steak dinners. I don't care. McCarthy.
Yeah.
Do we have a shot at the over?
No.
Tell me there's still a
Burn
shot.
the ticket. No, burn the ticket. It never happened.
Well, there's only one thing to do on 4th of July. I'm going to go hit a bucket of balls with the kids. Hopefully you can play a game of catch with somebody, McCarthy. Get
like that.
Get the glove out. Bring it to the station if you're working. Jimmy Stewart was outstanding last night in the big chair, Joe.
I know. Wally Pipp.
Watch out,
No,
Joe.
no, don't say that, Joe. Joe, are you doing 4th of July at the station?
I am not. The whole station's off.
Unless I've been told something big happens with the Celtics.
Which has happened to me before.
And
I got called off the beach once. Kevin Durant. Remember the Kelly Olynyk year? Remember that?
Yep.
JP,
McCarthy,
thank you, sir.
Remember one thing, McCarthy.
Yeah.
Don't stay up all night in case they call you to come in at 6 in the morning to fill in because you're a trooper.
I won't make that mistake again like I did this weekend.
Yeah, the year that Kevin Durant was, they brought in Tom Brady and, remember, Olynyk was in the photo. That's all I know. I got a call. Hey, Joe, this Durant thing might be going down. I got off the beach of Plum Island, drove in. It was on NBC Sport. It was such a big deal.
And this was back when the station was in Dorchester. That's important.
No, we were in
right? Oh, is this Brighton?
Brighton at the time.
Okay, so but it's still a hike.
Years ago.
You're coming down from Plum Island.
Yeah, Plum Island.
Yeah.
And I came in with my Hawaiian shirt on and tan, still smelling like, suntan lotion. And
cocoa butter.
And it didn't happen.
No, it didn't.
That was, talk about, just hoping for the best. Remember we all thought Tom Brady could have an impact in Kevin Durant's decision?
And that's the thing that kills it. It was never gonna happen. I mean,
No.
am I misremembering? I just feel like that was the storyline was, no, he's not coming to Boston. Why would Kevin Durant come to Boston?
Yeah, if Brady is your closer, you don't have a closer.
No.
Somebody
Doesn't play the same sport.
Somebody just said to me, "Hey Joe, the song you were just playing, if you say sell me pies, sell me sweet little pies, you'll never unhear it again." And I can think about that.
Joe Murray, are you in or out on pie?
I love pie.
More than cake? Because I feel like it's an either or thing.
Okay. This is controversial.
Okay.
This has many layers to it.
I had a feeling it would. Well, the cake does, but go on.
Is cheesecake cake?
No.
No. For example, I prefer a double layered cake in general.
Okay.
Like a vanilla cake is my favorite. I love cheesecake second though. There's just something about whether it's regular, if it's a brownie bottom,
yeah,
with a cheesecake top,
McCarthy, you said no right away.
No, it's not, and here's why. I had this conversation the other night. I love cheese. I love cake. I don't like cheesecake.
He's out on cheesecake.
Out on
He's
cheesecake.
out on cheesecake. I think the answer
it's not
here.
cake. It's not real cake.
The quick answer.
It's not real cheese.
It's its own thing, right?
Yeah. It's
David
a
S.
separate-
Pumpkins.
yeah,
It's its own
separate
thing.
entity.
Really, it's not a cake. So to agree with you, it's not a cake. Doesn't fall in that category. It is a baked good of its own variety in its own category.
It's insulting to call it cake. Cake is one of the great things out there.
But
And
back
to
to
put
pie.
cheesecake in it, no.
I'll take pie over cake 100 times out of 100.
Bad take.
Cherry
What's
pie.
the place in
crisscross
Worcester?
top.
tabletop.
Tabletop pies? Okay, funny story. You weren't with me. Skaz was. We went to the Phantom Fest in Waltham. Shout out Dan Endelman.
Right on.
Joe Murray, by the way, showing up at a food fest is like the Beatles coming off the plane.
I brought Skaz so he could tell you everything. There was only 2 places open because everybody ran out of food. So shout out to Dumpling Daughter, who had dumplings ready to go, and I was eating. The other thing, there were still boxes of tabletop pies, cherry.
Oh, the best flavor.
And so the guy that works there, and I forget his name, but I want to shout him out. Hey, Joe, do you want a couple of boxes? not. Do you want a couple of
serving.
the little ones?
No.
You know the little guys?
Yeah.
I think I got 5 boxes. Now I left them here. You know, anything on that table in there is free game. So I left them there. They
Help
were
yourself.
gone. They were gone in a week.
Of course they were.
But yeah, I was given 5 boxes because who was going to take them?
Tabletop pies.
So they gave them to me, and I found a home for them.
You can't go wrong.
Those little things, just 1 scoop on a spoon. Oh, right in there, baby.
Look, what about this? Put it in the bottom of the bowl. Couple scoops of ice cream
hot.
a la mode. I mean, come on, vanilla.
God, vanilla
on the cherry pie.
I watched Tim McCone participate in a tabletop pie eating contest.
Oh, get out.
With Joey Chestnut.
He's walking in right now. There he is. Wow.
Um,
A new level of respect for Tim
we get McCone in here.
Hey,
for that?
McCone.
McCone.
Come here. Now,
How about that?
There is a guy out his way named Jeffrey Esper who does he'll be doing the hot dog eating contest this year.
Yeah.
He's actually the all-time Hooters wing eating champion.
Impressive.
But we do have a competitive eater joining us in studio right now. His name is Tim McCone. Hello, Tim.
Hi, Tim. What's going on? How we doing, guys?
So you have you know Joey Chestnut.
Yeah, me and Joey Chestnut go way back. Yes. No.
This is fascinating to me. I didn't know this about you, Tim. I didn't know that you participated in it. It's a tabletop eating pie. Tabletop pie eating contest.
The minor league hockey team in Worcester, the Worcester Railers, for one of their opening nights, had Joey Chestnut come in, and during the intermissions, you paired up with another person. And I think the prize was like $1,000, maybe $5,000. You had no shot in terms of actually beating Joey Chestnut.
Of course.
90 seconds, tabletop pies, take down as many as you possibly can. And how many do you think I did?
1.
Okay, how you said it was 90 seconds?
90 seconds.
90 seconds.
How many do you think I did, and how many do you think Joey Chestnut did?
I'm going to say you got through 6 and started a 7th. That's
right,
my guess for you.
I did 4, and I was very
4.
proud of that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I overestimated.
Finished second.
Chestnut, an even dozen.
19.
19
in 90 seconds. Good savage.
I don't know if I could do half that because I
Chestnut,
don't chew.
you're
I'm not
shaver.
really a
Chestnut
chewer.
crushed the pies in his hands.
Tim Murray's out on chewing.
Yeah.
I just want that to be
No,
known.
You don't have time for it.
Yeah, you don't have exactly. If
Yeah.
you're competitively eating,
Yeah.
you ain't got no time for chewing.
No, that's the technique. Is you're just getting it down the gullet as fast as you can.
So I got to hang out with him during the whole first period. Awesome guy. For a world champion, very down to earth.
Yeah.
Great dude. Gave me a piece of advice. He said, Tim, whatever you do, don't stop swallowing. And that was his piece of advice to me. And I've lived by that ever since. Yeah,
Wow.
that's what I go by. But that's what I did at 19. But yeah, he just crushed up the pies.
Yeah,
Joe.
like get all
And
the air
just-
out
yeah,
of it.
exactly. And then just hammer
boot
him.
it down. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. There you go.
Amazing.
Thank you, Tim. For
And,
that
then-
breakdown.
and what happened with the mayo? You
Fascinating.
had a mayo thing once, right?
Yeah, Zoe and Beetle were going to give me like $100 cash to finish. I love mayonnaise. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it. It was disgusting. Yeah, straight mayo, not the play.
Have you ever been to the Cloud9 Cafe?
Yeah, I was listening to phenomenal stuff.
Thank you.
How have you never been down there
I
before?
work nights.
True.
It's closed.
True. Yeah.
I asked the same question.
It's a
And then,
game changer.
and then when I get here, I don't get up anyways. So, like,
The whole
Joe
midday
Murray's sitting
show really centers around Zoe going down and first of all, waiting till the special's ready, going down to get the
There
special.
was no special
and then
today.
eating the special.
No
Yeah,
special.
that's pretty much what the midday. Yeah.
Well,
There you
Eric is the man downstairs. We
Great
became best
guys
friends
down there.
Yeah.
Great food. Yeah.
Really good.
So, Tabletop Pie, Worcester's finest, right?
Yes.
Did you know that Nick Gemelli was in Worcester this week?
Oh yeah, I gave him a recommendation. Yeah.
Did you go to, was it Armsby
He
Abbey?
went to Armsby Abbey. He was at the DC. Oh, yeah.
You like it
Good
there?
spot. It's not my scene necessarily, but it was Gemelli's for sure. Yeah.
What is the top Worcester restaurant?
The Boyne. Final answer.
Sole proprietor.
Look at
One
that.
Close second.
Mic drop.
That was a
How'd
mic
it goes?
drop right there.
How'd it
I
goes?
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I've been there in years.
We have an update on John Wallach's vacation.
Yes, we do. We do. Thank you. I had mentioned you were down doing the cafeteria thing, and I was in here with Matt, and I was a bad producer. I didn't write it down. Or
No,
maybe
it's
I
good.
did write
This
it
is
down.
this is what we have the stack for.
Yes.
So we have the stack coming up after Matt McCarthy's headlines.
Whatever you do, don't stop swallowing. And that was his piece of advice to me. And I've lived by that ever since.
Sports Hub headlines presented by.
The Sports Hub. We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
Well, The Stack here on 98.5 The Sports Hub needs a sponsor. I will pledge for the show. This is something that they do every day. And it's stuff that we missed throughout the show. So if you are a business out there that is looking for a partnership.
Look at you helping the show out. Thank you.
He's a team player.
I would also like to say that I share the same YouTube space as your show.
Right, exactly. We stream in the morning, you stream at night.
I am happy to collab on a half stack, half musings.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Or in or out.
Yeah.
Whatever you guys
All
would
right.
like to do.
Okay.
So that's my pitch.
Good.
You guys know what's going on with Wallach.
That's what I want to get to is why don't you take the lead on this and walk everybody through? Because for those who don't know, everybody's on. I mean, clearly everybody's on vacation this weekend. And Fred has talked about he's traveling with his son and playing baseball down in was it Alabama, right?
Yep,
outside of Mobile, Alabama. And then
have fun.
Hardy, I believe, is having a staycation, which means he's probably golfing every day. So good for him. And then John Wallach is he is the one who is he is another one who is traveling, and you have an update on that, Joe Murray.
Yes, this according to John Wallach on Instagram.
Yes.
My luck with travel remains crappy. Because we did a lot of poo.
Yeah.
The poop. Is this a new version of the poop cruise? The flight to Philadelphia was canceled yesterday after a wait of 3 hours at Logan.
Hold on.
And he loves to drive.
Yeah, he loves it.
You know what he does? He scans trying to find other radio stations, in especially sports. Because in different markets, you can put on a different AM, whatever. Well, I guess AM radio's dead. But, yeah, he's a radio scanner.
Have any of you had, as Ryan Beaton just pointed out, John Wallach is rumored to like driving fast and aggressively. Many members of the morning show have reported driving into work and being tailgated by John Wallach on the way into work. I've not experienced this yet, but I'm wondering if any of you had heard those rumors or had experiences like that.
I find this surprising.
It is interesting.
Well, he did used to work in Boston.
It changes you.
So maybe his mindset is every time he's driving to work, it's like it's Boston traffic.
I'll tell. Listen, no. All kidding aside, Joe, there's some truth to that. So we were talking off the mic. I went to Northeastern. I grew up in Wakefield. Grew up in Greenwood. Wakefield kid. Went to Northeastern University. Did not live on campus. I commuted, and depending on what my schedule was, sometimes I'd be able to go down to the end of the street that I lived on, take the bus to Oak Grove, take the Orange Line in to Ruggles. Other days I would have to drive. And driving in, whether it's for work, for school, for whatever reason. Driving into the city every day, it changes you. You guys know this. You worked when the building was in Brighton. You worked when the building was in Dorchester. I mean, it changes you so much so that when my son Jacob was learning to drive about like 3-4 years ago, it really put into perspective what an awful driver I'd become. Just angry, aggressive, just and combative, really, is what it comes down to. Every time I'd get in the car, it didn't matter if we were going one town over to pick something up for whatever, or if I was going to the city. It was a battle every time.
Best defense is a good offense. Come on.
Yeah, but it changes you in a bad way. I didn't like it, and I didn't like that I was going to be teaching my kid to drive this way. So I really had to kind of back off and reassess. And since then, I've become a little more mellow.
Yeah, I live on the North Shore now. I drive slowly but when I go back home, going 30 down thickly settled air.
Nobody dominates the J way.
Bro, I have mastered the Jamaica way. But for those who've never done the Jamaica way, you got to get in the right lane. The only problem with the right lane is people can take turns, like the MSPCA is over there and everything. So that's why I ride dirty after this weekend.
So the last thing you want to be dealing with is any sort of interruption to waste removal.
So sanitation workers,
it's gonna be real warm.
You picked a good weekend to state your point.
That's right.
So I support you.
Solidarity.
Because in general, that's a power move right there.
It really is.
Imagine being a trash guy on a warm 4th of July weekend. I tip my cap.
You know what?
Those are the real ones out there.
Would you rather be in radio or that?
There are some days, Joe, where I wonder. I do wonder.
All right, tomorrow we have Brian Robb in studio with us doing more Celtic stuff.
Is he an ass man?
We can ask him tomorrow.
He's got a kid. I bet you he's seen a lot of ass. I hear about it all the time. I got my kid. I hear that a lot. I respect all the guys with kids. All right, Adam 12, great job. Matt McCarthy, Ryan Bean, Nick Gemelli, Cam, thanks for getting the food.
We made the intern get the food. We really are kind of dicks.
You got to do that, though.
Yeah.
That's rolling up your sleeves, baby. Now he feels comfortable with us.
Yeah, I know. Cam's the man.
All right, well, Beano's here. McCone's here.
I think it's Ty Anderson.
Ty
today.
Anderson's here.
NHL free agency 2 hours from now.
Damn. I'm out. See you tomorrow.
More Toucher and Hardy next on the Sports Hub.
You've got to try the new burgers at the Nines. Bigger, bolder, and beefier. Our half-pound, 100% American Angus beef is sure to please. Try the new bourbon onion burger and get more ang for your buck. You gotta love the Nines.
What's next? College? University? There's a world of great options after high school, but they come with a cost. Most of us can't save it all. None of us should borrow it all. But we can all look to MIFA, our Massachusetts Educational Financing Authority, for low-cost, fixed-interest-rate loans with multiple repayment options and predictable monthly payments. Get the loan that's right for you and your family. Apply at MIFA.org today. That's MEFA.org.
Land ho! It's Felger here, and it's almost time for our premium Nantucket broadcast at the Fairgrounds Restaurant and Pudley's Pub. I know what you're thinking. Why is your broadcast so premium, Felger? Well, it's not the content that makes it premium. It's the sponsor, and that's our friends at Heineken. Heineken's commitment to premium taste and quality has made them the most iconic beer maker in the world.